Welcome to Trivial Debates.
Welcome to this week's edition of Trivial Debates. We have some awesome new debates this week. Each week, our panelists will be judged and scored based on their arguments for facts, passion, and creativity. I am your host, Dave Mader, and our panelists this week are Jeff Mader.
Hello.
Kevin Millard.
Hello.
The artist formerly known as Jody.
Fuck you.
Chris Seymour.
Yo, worst host ever.
You are. Also known as Second Best Dave.
And returning after a long hiatus, calling it in, if you will, from Midland Park, New Jersey.
I guess I can read that.
Dylan Gonzalez.
Boo earns.
All right.
Answer your Skype, fucker. Hey, you know what? Suck my dick, Dave. You know what? You're a rude fucking host. Whatever.
All right.
Whatever.
How the show works. There are 6 rounds plus a speed round, which will be between our top 2 panelists after we go through the top 6. Movies, television, music, sports, history, and a wild card. We want people to be passionate about their arguments, but not personally mean to one another.
Go fuck yourself.
Keep in mind that you can also skip to a new debate by looking at the time indexes in the description and going to the battles that interest you the most. Make sure to subscribe to our iTunes feed, and you can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and Instagram. Whether you're listening on iTunes or watching on the YouTube version, all links and information can be found at the description at trivialdebates.com. What is going on, Dylan?
Sorry, I was turning my PlayStation 4 off.
We're glad we have your attention.
Yes, okay. Let the battle begin. Ding, ding, ding. We are going to movies. The question is, which director's body of work is the most diverse? We are going to start to my left, which is Jeff.
I picked Steven Spielberg.
I knew somebody would fucking pick that. That was...
Well, because you know why? Because it's a good pick, and I'll tell you why it's a
boring
good
pick. Yes.
It's a boring pick. Yeah.
Oh, it's a boring pick. Yeah. It's all right. Just if we just go through Spielberg's range here, we can go through certain movies. Like first of all, he's basically the king of the blockbuster, so he's already got that going for him. He started off with Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is a great mystery. Then he did 1941, a great comedy. Then he did Raiders of the Lost Ark, a great adventure movie. E.T., another great adventure movie, but also just like a heartwarming movie as well.
Shit movie.
Indiana Jones Temple was
pretty god awful, actually.
So in the 80s, then he went and started doing a couple more series movies. He did Color Purple, Empire of the Sun, which
He did The Color Purple?
Yep.
Is that the one with Oprah peeing?
Yeah. Anyway, so then he does Empire of the Sun, which Dave went on about 2 weeks ago, and
it was terrible.
That's decent.
I still get haunted by that one.
Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, which is considered one of the best Indiana Jones movies. Jurassic Park, and then he made basically the saddest movie of all time in Schindler's List. So if we're talking about, he can do a really fun movie, a really thriller movie, he can do the sad movie. What he did.
I'm looking for diversity. So when you think of Spielberg, you think of a certain type of movie. So
the action adventure movie.
Every director.
That's what I think of Spielberg.
Well, he didn't just do action.
He did some other stuff
He
too.
did lots of.
He just
stuff.
makes me think action.
So you go. Well, it's not even just action. It's like, I don't know. It's like it's the blockbuster. It's like the hero movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
War of the Worlds.
No, okay. I'll stop you there, Jeff. Detractors against Spielberg. Is he diverse or not?
I think he can be. Absolutely.
I think he's a little bit diverse, but he's more leaning towards the action kind of movies.
He's like known for one thing, more than one thing. Every director is going to be known for a certain thing.
Yeah.
I think he's known for either the dramatic, the Schindler's List, the Saving Private Ryan, or like the blockbuster style films.
Come on, E.T.
But he's also done.
Jones.
Would you say Catch Me If You Can or The Terminal it fits in either of those?
No.
Our Terminal is boring as shit.
No. And I like Catch Me If You Can
was good though.
But The Terminal is not that great. So when he went out of his comfort zone, it's kind of like...
Okay. When I think Steven Spielberg, I think it's easy for him to put Tom Hanks in a movie and make a couple of $1 million, and that's all he does.
That's a good point.
Yep.
Therefore, I will not give him my money because I'm not a Tom Hanks fan.
Okay, well, Dylan, let's go to your...
It's not about Tom Hanks. It's about the director.
Let's go to your director.
I bet you've never even heard of my director.
I had to look him up.
Okay. I chose Takashi Miike, who is a Japanese filmmaker. He started making movies in 1991, and since then, he has made about, I think, like 200. He's directed over 90 since then. And he's credited with doing about 15 productions in the years of 2000 and 2002 alone. He's done a lot of horror stuff, which you guys probably aren't familiar with, like Ichi the Killer, which is
That's an awesome movie.
Have you seen that, Jody?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So you know how fucked up it is.
Yes, that movie is fucked up.
Like, I'll paint a very brief picture for you guys. The opening credits, it's just like the title of the film, like etched in like metal or something, but it's buried underneath this like white substance, and it just drains out, and it's basically just the jizz of every single member of the crew collected into a bucket.
What?
That's
fucked up.
disgusting.
Okay, and then what else has he got?
How does that make it
He's
good?
also done.
But did he do a romantic comedy after that?
Yeah, and then it's comedy. He's done abstract experimental like Gozu. He's done superhero movies like Zebra Man. He directed 2 episodes of Ultraman. He did a Japanese Western called Sukiyaki Western Django, which features Quentin Tarantino in it. And he's also done a couple of action movies called Dead or Alive.
Tarantino, I know who that is.
I heard Django and Quentin Tarantino. That's good.
Yeah.
That's worth a point right there.
Okay, so he does mostly horror
He's also done
movies.
stuff like family films and comedies, believe it or not.
Yeah, but he's really known for his over-the-top kind of violence and stuff, though.
Yeah, but he's a very capable director. I just watched one of his movies called 13 Assassins.
I've heard of that. I
today,
haven't seen it.
And that was an awesome movie. It's basically a contemporary samurai flick, but it was amazingly well done. Yeah, so I picked him.
But Dylan, if he's so good, like, why have we never heard of him? Like, I'm sure only Jody has heard of him.
I don't
Because
really
some of
care
us
if
are
you've
fucking
never
cultured.
heard of him, Chris, you're not the host.
What?
And then there's me.
Just wondering.
Yeah, Dylan. Stop picking on me, Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, Dylan.
Jeez, Dylan, I was just asking a question.
Well, Dylan, if your argument is that Jody is cultured, then that's not a good argument.
And he gives him an X.
You
That's
gotta defend
awesome.
yourself. He's a grown-up boy.
Okay, anything else to add?
He's awesome. And his favorite movie is Starship Troopers.
That's not even a good movie.
Oh, come on. How can you? That is awesome.
I like Starship Troopers.
It was just so silly.
I don't know what his favorite movie has to do with the question, though.
No,
but-
I don't know what that has to do either.
Okay.
Very little of what we ever say has anything
I'm
to
gonna
do
go
with
with
the
Jeff still
questions.
winning on this one.
Okay, let's go to Kevin.
All right, I picked Ron Howard because I don't really feel like.
Speaking of Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
he's in every fucking movie of his.
Old white dudes.
I bet you there are more Tom Hanks in Ron Howard than in Spielberg.
Probably.
I think there's only 3 Tom
Yeah,
Hanks. Spielberg
I'm willing to
movies.
bet. Yeah, you're right on that one for sure.
Let's see.
Like, you just fucking knocked him for Tom Hanks, and like, the
Yeah,
first
Tom
thing I
Hanks
think
is-
of with Ron Howard is fucking Tom
Tom
Hanks.
Hanks is in 3 Spielberg movies. He's in Saving Private Ryan. He's in Catch Me If You Can, and he's in The Terminal.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Saving Private Ryan's not Ron Howard's.
No, I'm saying in the Spielberg
No,
movies.
Spielberg.
If we go through Ron Howard, he's
Oh.
got Angels and Demons, he's got Da Vinci Code, and he's got Apollo 13. So he's tied already.
Yeah, and there's more.
I'm sure there
And
is
there's
more.
more.
Tell me about Ron Howard.
Kevin's like, you go fuck yourself. I haven't even said anything yet.
Well, with Ron Howard, I don't really think of a particular style of movie with him as I do with other directors. He's got range. He can do. I mean, he's got. Or I'll just do what Jeff did: Splash, Cocoon. For like
I'm the only
comedies,
one that picked,
Parenthood,
like, 8
Backdraft,
movies of his and
Okay,
Apollo 13.
Just to simplify this, just pick us 3 movies that are very different.
3 movies that are very different: Beautiful Mind, The Grinch,
Okay.
Oh, Tom Hanks wasn't in
And-
either one of those.
Parenthood. 3 very different movies.
This is true.
Okay. That's good.
Grinch. I don't really hate the Grinch.
And
A
then
lot of
he's
people don't
also
like it.
the Untitled Beatles documentary, also a documentary.
Yeah, he did do that.
So
Never saw it.
he does have range. I'm surprised you've never seen it. I guess it wasn't about the band.
It wasn't about shitty music. Mind you, I don't like the Beatles, but
Okay. Anything else to say about Ronnie?
Not really.
Okay. Jody,
all right.
who you got?
I picked Stanley Kubrick. I'm gonna
Ooh,
tell
good
you
one.
why. Thank you. The reason why I
can't
picked
say
that.
that, Dylan. You're not the host.
Oh, you should fucking talk about bias, you fucking prick. Anyway,
Yeah, Canadian.
so I only went through about 8 movies
Your
of his
heritage.
because I wanted to show you how diverse he could be.
Okay.
Okay, which is what this is all
Can you
about.
give me
Dave.
can you give me like your top 3 in this?
Top 3? Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be hard because he's got a lot of good ones. If you want for diverse top 3, Dr. Strangelove, Clockwork Orange, and The Shining.
They're all well. The Shining's different, but like the other 2 are kind of similar.
the-
They're
Fuck.
kind of similar.
They're all
not.
similar.
Kubrick
Every
has
one
a-
of them. He has his own style.
A very certain quirky style.
He's got a quirky style, but we're talking completely different atmospheres for these movies. Like, and that's really what you're doing when you're making diverse movies. Is you're going all over the place.
But does he
And
make good
to-
movies?
What's that? What are you talking about?
Yeah, he makes
Spartacus,
fantastic
what-
movies.
Oh, he makes good movies. I don't think anyone
2001:
would argue
Space
that.
Odyssey, The Shining, Full Metal
Like-
Jacket. Full Metal Jacket was one of the best movies ever made, in my opinion.
All right, Jody, let's go to the milk bar.
What?
You don't remember the milk bar?
Oh no, I do. I was surprised to hear that coming out of you, actually. But like Clockwork Orange,
Yeah.
fucking completely over the top, and in my opinion, ahead of its time. Like you can't look at that movie and think, wow, everybody was doing that type of movie back then. No, they weren't. Nothing close to that.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
to this day, you still don't
Kubrick's
see a lot
movies
of
in
stuff.
general are all
They're all
unique, but
unique is part of variety.
It's sort of like
It's,
saying Quentin Tarantino.
and
has got
diversity. I
ton
actually
of-
looked it up.
a ton
Diversity
of
means showing a
diversity.
great deal of variety as well as being very different. And there's one thing we can honestly say about every movie that fucking guy has made is they're all different.
Name me one comedy.
One comedy?
That
Dr.
Kubrick-
Strangelove.
Doctor Strangelove
No,
was a fucking comedy.
other than that, like you name me more.
Well,
than
he
one
didn't pump
comedy.
out a movie every fucking 6 months.
Yeah, but it seems like he made one comedy. He made one horror movie.
yeah,
one,
that's
like,
you've proved my point exactly.
I'm not proving
That-
it.
no, that's exactly it. It's a
I'm
diverse
saying
collection.
He's made it once, and then he's like, "Fuck it," like
That's still diversity.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying
There was tons of comedy in fucking Full Metal Jacket, for instance. The entire first half of that movie was comedy, realistically. Yeah, it was black humor, but still comedy. Absolutely.
It's pretty fucked up. I think Dr. Strangelove was a little more straightforward
Oh.
with its humor. It's just kind of clever as well as being over the top.
Yeah, Full Metal Jacket, the first half of that entire movie, that movie was basically shot like 2 movies, right? So it's...
yeah.
Yeah, and with that, the first half of that movie was all about, it was essentially about the drill instructor and how fucking funny and abusive he can be to everybody. That's really, and that was obviously the premise of the first half of the movie.
it wasn't very funny when Gomer Pyle blew his face off.
No, but that's where the diversity comes in.
okay. Anything else, Dad?
I don't think I need to. I think right now I have the strongest pick.
All right, Chris, I want to hear this.
All right,
What do you got?
my
So
pick.
barn burner?
Dylan, you're gonna be surprised. My pick is Clint Eastwood.
What?
Oh, go fuck yourself.
Oh,
Every movie that he does is about history. That's
Let
it.
me explain myself then, okay?
Oh, fucking terrible.
He was one of the ones I looked at and said, "No, I can't pick him."
You know what?
Because
All of his fucking movies are the same. Yeah. that-
Every fucking movie he's ever made.
Let me tell you, Clint Eastwood is known as being like the tough, tall, skinny guy, okay? In spaghetti westerns. In the old days.
As an actor.
As an actor. But as
Yeah,
a
we're
director,
talking about director. You know that, right?
I know, but this is the thoughts you guys have in your head of Clint Eastwood right now. Because you're picturing that. You're not considering
No,
the
I've seen
works-
a bunch of his
No,
movies.
I'm
They're
not
the exact
picturing
same.
that. But you know what? Go on.
You're not picturing the works he directed. By the way, he's won 2 Academy Awards for directing.
Don't care.
First was Letters from Iwo Jima. Awesome
Why is he
movie.
getting
Which
a
was a
check
war
mark
movie.
for that? Spielberg won fucking
Was it
awards.
worthy?
Oh, yeah.
Spielberg won
Spielberg
awards.
won
Yeah,
awards
you
too.
didn't bring it up.
Okay, you didn't bring it up.
My
That doesn't
guy.
mean he's
Hold
diverse.
on.
That's
Because it's
Why not?
nothing to do with the fucking question.
That
That's why
always had
nobody
nothing to do with
Why are you guys all attacking
Guys,
me?
stop watching when I check mark.
Why are you guys all
Stop
attacking me
checkmarking
when I-
stupid shit.
You guys should attack me when I'm not done with
Chris,
my
mind one second.
No, we should actually
Comment,
just say
yeah.
that you're wrong and give it to somebody else.
It's
because
like
that's what
everyone's
you do.
against me. Okay.
It's because you're wrong.
He also had the drama The Changeling. Won an Academy Award for that. Okay. You know what? You want to hear about his diversity.
Yeah, I want to.
That would be nice.
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, Clint Eastwood directed, not starred in. He might have been in these movies, but he also directed them, so that counts.
God, you're really fucking scraping the bottle here.
Unforgiven was a western. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an awesome movie.
Okay.
Fucking Space Cowboys was a thriller.
That was a fucking terrible movie.
That was an awesome
Fucking
movie. That was an awesome movie.
4 fucking old farts going up because apparently they couldn't find anybody else on fucking Earth who could fix something old.
Right. So
That was
four-
the whole fucking movie. It was
Four
terrible.
fucking old farts chasing the satellite.
That
And it
was
awesome.
fucking
And they
terrible.
fixed it.
One guy died.
Yeah, and fucking Bruce Willis went and drilled on a fucking asteroid.
Okay,
That doesn't
so-
make any difference.
Why is everyone attacking me? Okay, we
Because
got
it's terrible.
We got a western so far, and now we got a thriller. Now let's go on to
That's not even close to a
Let's,
thriller,
let's,
but
let's
anyway.
go on. Let's go on to $1 Million Baby. He did a sports movie. It was about an up and coming female
Fucking
boxer.
terrible movie.
All
Anyone-
dramas.
That's a
All
good
dramas
movie,
here,
man.
Chris.
All
Here-
dramas.
Hold on. We got western, thriller, sports now.
No, they were all dramas. Just
Now
because
we're
it was
going
set in
to-
a western setting doesn't make it a western.
Gran Torino, one of my favorite
Drama.
turns.
Drama.
One of my favorite turns ever. Zipperheads
That's a
came out of
comedy.
that movie.
Drama.
Drama. Oh, how about what? Do you think you did a history movie? How about Invictus about Nelson Mandela?
Well, we already know
Did
he
you
does
know?
those movies.
Yeah, because it's
You talked about Iwo Jima.
it's a drama.
That was a history movie, though. It's a different genre. Wait, okay. Wait, though. He also does biographies.
That's about history.
Remember the movie J. Edgar? J.
Can you
Edgar?
switch spots with me because I want to hit him?
Movie about Clint.
Putting him too close to me is going to be a problem for you.
I remember the movie.
Remember J. Edgar? Awesome movie, awesome biography.
Uh-huh.
Totally different style than a drama. It's completely different. You know what? Clint Eastwood directed a musical, a very famous musical. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but he was the director for Jersey Boys.
I did not know
Who
that.
cares?
But it's diverse that he did a musical.
And no one gives a fuck.
You know, Jersey Boys. Come on, about the Four Seasons.
He did one musical and a bunch of drama. That's
Okay,
exciting.
guys, this is pretty close. Are you done?
How can that be close?
Like that.
It's all pretty close. I'm gonna give any snipes at each other before I make my ruling.
Well, okay, Chris picked someone that literally does all dramas.
No, I
Literally.
gave you a musical and a
Literally,
biography
your
and
guy
a
does
sports
all
movie
Biography is
dramas.
basically a drama.
and a history movie.
I
I'll
would
give
say with Jody's pick, his guy does very quirky movies, so he's
All different though.
But he's all
And
over the
different
place
is
in
what
general.
diversity is.
It's
though.
like saying like Hitchcock's he's very diverse, but really he's
no,
not.
he isn't. He did a lot of
Or
suspense
Tarantino.
movies. That's
Or
really-
Tarantino, like to me, like I
Yeah,
agree with
Tarantino,
Kevin on that
I think,
point.
is a
To me,
better
it's
pick.
between me and Kevin because both of our guys have done comedy, drama, thriller, blockbuster.
You did a bunch of movies because they were handed to you guys.
My
Stanley
guy has
Kubrick
done
made
comedy,
movies that he
family,
wanted to
drama,
make.
horror, action movie, superhero, directed 2 episodes of fucking Ultraman.
I like that.
And had Quentin Tarantino in one of his movies.
I already gave you.
All I want to say is, I looked up what diversity means, and being different is what diversity is. And if there's anybody at this table who has an argument for different type of movies every time, it's mine. It's that simple.
I disagree.
Well, you don't have to agree.
His movies are all the same. They're just all.
Oh, fuck
weird.
off! You picked Clint
They're just all
fucking
weird.
Eastwood. You are so fucking out of this. It's not even funny.
I'm making my ruling. I'm giving 2 points this round.
2 points.
Yeah, I'm giving to Jeff and to Jody.
Oh well, I'll take it then.
Boom. Worst fucking host ever.
No, he isn't. Have you heard the last episode? Well,
No.
second last episode, I guess.
2 episodes ago, yeah.
Yeah, if you hear that when Chris is hosting, you'll think twice about that. He's fucking terrible.
Dave is now third best Dave.
Sorry, boys. It's only
I think he's best Dave, personally.
for now.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, for this round. Next round.
No, Dave. I think
see.
you're doing a fantastic job so far.
Thank you. Okay, I'm moving on to the television round. Ding, ding, ding. Question here is, what live-action show had the best Halloween specials? And I was specific on live-action because when I thought about the question...
You thought Simpsons.
I thought Simpsons. I'm like, never gets the Simpsons.
That's what I put in for my answer.
Yeah.
He's like, it's supposed to be live action. I'm like, fuck.
I had to take Simpsons out because I'm like, it's too much of a runaway train. It's going to be too...
No, but there's different episodes. I would have picked
but
Treehouse of Horror.
It's
6.
about what show had the best catalog. It can be just one if your show only had one, but...
My show only had one.
Yeah, that's fine, but it's your collection of Halloween episodes is fine.
Now, just to be clear, we're not going by quantity here, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
You're just going to prove that it was
It's just the best.
a fun time to watch those Halloween episodes.
The question is the best Halloween show or shows.
All right.
Let's go with Dylan first.
He's the fucking host.
Unfortunately, so I picked... Wait, hang on. I'm getting some feedback.
Are you gonna...
All right.
Good?
Good?
Yeah, we're good over here.
So I picked the 4th episode of the first season of Dexter, which is called Let's Give the Boy a Hand. Because as I was going through a list of Halloween episodes, I realized I really haven't watched too much besides The Simpsons in terms of Halloween episodes, and the one that I wanted to do originally was already picked, so I'm going to make a weak case for this, I guess. I've only watched the first season of Dexter. I liked it. Didn't love it. But in this episode, it's...
Like, he doesn't even like his answer. Like, didn't we just have a buzzer? Like, he can buzz him out?
Alright, next guy.
It's a good episode.
Dylan, you better come up with something quick or we're going to have to move on.
So I picked this one, but
You know
fucking
what?
it's terrible. And
But you know what? Who picked Freaks and Geeks? I throw my support behind them. I abstain from the round.
You'll see.
I abstained from the round.
Okay.
I do. I can't. I'm literally looking at a Wikipedia entry right now. I'm not going to fucking make my argument off Wikipedia.
Okay.
Is
Kevin.
this specific episode or
No, not
It could be just the
No,
duration
I
of
get
the
it.
episodes.
Okay.
of
No,
Halloween.
it does not need to be.
All right.
I guess the reason it came up on the list because it aired close to Halloween. But whatever. I like the first season of Dexter. That's
You
my
can say
least
the whole
favorite.
show is a Halloween special.
Yeah.
But-
In a way, it is.
All right. I picked the show that invented the Halloween special, Roseanne.
See, you fucking prick.
Is that what you chose?
No, but when I re-looked at the question, he had it as plural, like episodes, and I'm like, fuck, well, mine technically doesn't exist, but he said he's gonna allow it. But then I'm like, well, fuck, if I have to pick another one, I was gonna pick one, and it'd be Roseanne.
Well, there was a couple that weren't picked that are worth mentioning. Community comes to mind. They had some great ones. And also, like American Horror Story would have been,
Yeah.
good.
So now we know your favorite answers, Dave. Can we change our answers?
Well, they're not in the argument.
No, because you know what? It's not you hosting.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
All right. So anyway, ABC didn't even want to do this Halloween special. It took them 3 years to convince ABC to do it because they were so worried that would anger the Bible Belt just having a Halloween special. When I was a kid, I always looked forward to the Roseanne Halloween specials. They were fucking incredible.
Hilarious. They were funny.
The best part that they had elaborate costumes, and Dan and Roseanne always trying to one up each other
Yeah,
all
there's
the
always
time, trying to
pranks
scare
going
each
on,
other
yeah.
with pranks and whatnot. Showed a great family dynamic there. It was one of the only episodes where they never really fought.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts is Dan trying to convince DJ to be a wizard, but DJ wants to be a witch.
Yeah, he wants to be a
and
witch.
he's
like-
all out of sorts
He's all
because of
pissed
it.
off about this, yeah.
You've got just one of the most memorable scenes is Darlene walking up behind Becky and looking at her and then dripping
Oh,
what
she
looks
just
like blood
spits
out of
out.
her mouth into her cereal.
Yeah.
It was all about like the pranks, Halloween
Oh,
pranks.
yeah.
Right, it was
a
all
prank
about the
show,
Halloween
basically,
pranks. And this is something that everybody looked forward to. And they invented it. They were the first to do it, and they did it so spectacularly. The other show that came to mind for me that I may have picked was Home Improvement. The guy that did all of these episodes
You can't
also
have
did
two- you can't have two choices.
also did Yeah, but it's the only two that were any fucking good at the time, and the guy directed both of them. Both of them.
Apparently there's another one good at the time, and we'll see.
No, none. Nothing.
I like that.
But that's it. I don't look forward to other specials of any other show ever. I always hate when they stop and do a special for any holiday. Not Roseanne. I loved Roseanne Halloween specials. They were fucking incredible.
Were quite good.
Okay. Jody?
I picked actually what Dylan probably wanted, which was the Freaks and Geeks one.
You got my support, brother.
Thank you. The premise of that show was...
He's going to check because he has Dylan support.
Don't tell him what.
I can do whatever
Might
I
be the
want.
only thing I get for all you know.
I think the check marks are distracting for all of us.
They are.
True, they are. They are a little distracting,
Since
but
I'm
anyway.
not there, since
Do I
I'm
need
not
to put a
there,
divider up around my paper?
You should get like a
Keep talking. I wanna know
Dungeons
what
and
they-
Dragons thing, like a shield, so nobody can see your papers. So basically, the episode falls on. It was the only actual Halloween episode because the show only ran one season. But the episode is basically about the two kids and how both kids realistically are too grown up, at least in the words that they can go trick or treating. So the girl decides, well, I'll stay home with mom, and mom's gonna give out cookies and stuff, which turns out to be a bad idea. Because all the parents were like throwing them on the fucking lawn because they're all worried they're spiked with something. Or, it was that whole
Razor
scare.
blade in the cookie.
Oh yeah, the whole scare thing, right? Nobody does that anymore. Like a neighbor tells her, nobody does that anymore. Wrapped candy only, that kind of thing. And the son, Sam, I think his name is. He decides he's going to go out anyway, even though he's a freshman in high school at this point. And he's gonna go out anyway, and the fucking everything about it, the costumes of the boys when they go out, like the one's dressed up like a cross-dresser, and fuck, he looks terrible, but it's so funny. And then the one girl ends up going out, and they end up doing pranks and stuff like that, and they end up like kicking pumpkins, and your typical teenage. But I think the best thing about it was it really showed what a lot of us got into shit during Halloween and stuff, especially when we got older and we got to that stage where it was too awkward to go trick-or-treating, but you still wanted to cause some shit and cause some havoc, and I just...
Don't they throw like a rock through someone's window?
Oh yeah, like it was all just mischief.
Okay.
And it was like, oh, Lindsay, you're so badass, you're
Yeah.
throwing eggs, and then they threw, it's like, oh wow, Lindsay, you fucked up.
Yeah, no, they're like, it's a great prank, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're fucking terrible,
Mm-hmm.
And they're just going around and fucking, it follows the three different groups as they're going around, because the young girl ends up going out with friends as well, and she doesn't want to hang out with her mother, and then her mother realizes that her kids are too grown up now, and they're not kids anymore that they can hang out with and want to give out candy and stuff.
Right.
So it was kind of like a coming of age kind of thing as well. It was a little bit more touching, I guess, than some
They
of the
want
other
to go
picks.
smoke pot and throw eggs.
But basically, it was just... I thought it was a nice episode. It was a neat way of doing it, and I just thought it was a nice episode.
Okay.
Such a good show.
It was a good show.
Chris?
All right. My choice for my favorite Halloween episodes.
Is it Voltron?
Voltron, that was a cartoon, so you can't pick.
Oh, right.
I could not pick Voltron, or else I might have.
Power Rangers, then.
I picked Family Matters.
Jeff's not hosting.
Did someone just nearly choke?
Yeah, that'd be me.
Does Jeff like Family Matters? I don't know.
I like the opening theme. I didn't say
There you go. Yeah, it was an awesome show.
If you can sing the
That's not
theme
Family
all the way
Matters.
through, you like the
As
show.
days
That's Full
go.
House.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Never mind. I screwed up my theme
It's basically
song.
the same song except different lyrics.
Yeah, it's probably... Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Anyways,
I didn't think anybody would pick something worse than me.
let me describe this to you. Family Matters was a comedy, okay? And it had many... The episodes were hilarious. I loved coming home after school and watching this show. It was hilarious. I
You
loved
had a
Steve
serious
Urkel.
drug problem back then.
You know what? And every year they did a Halloween episode. I'm going to tell you about 4 of them.
Tell 4 of them.
The first one, okay, it started off slow, but then it built up into this incredible Halloween episode thing that was like, couldn't be missed by anyone. The first one was called Dark and Stormy Night. And it was just about the Winslows, and they were passing ghost stories back and forth, okay? And it ended up with Harriet and Carl, like, trying to eat Urkel.
That sounds awful.
That,
Sounds like awful.
that was their first attempt. That was their first attempt at a Halloween episode. But, I wanted to pick a show that had more than one Halloween episode. I didn't want to choose a show like Jody Then they had
Really, that's the hardest you got.
Then they had Dog Day Halloween. Okay, and this is when Laura and Urkel they got captured. Okay, they were dressed up. Urkel was dressed as Superman. Laura was dressed as Tina Turner. Okay, they got trapped. And
I'd rather go have a fucking root canal than listen to this shit. This is fucking terrible. Can you get to the point?
they got
It's making me wish I was born.
Like,
in
I'd rather
years.
read the TV guide fucking description
guys,
of this.
Listen, guys, they got held hostage during a bank robbery, and Carl, the dad, he ended up finally saving them.
Nothing says Halloween like getting held hostage.
They were wearing Halloween costumes, but then here's
So
where
it's a normal episode in Halloween costumes.
here's where the fun begins
This
because
is fucking terrible.
Here, remember, you guys gotta remember that Family Matters is a fucking comedy, okay?
I remember.
And
So
Really? Because I never found anything funny about it.
Okay, those first two Halloween episodes were kind of lame, but then we get into the good stuff. Okay, there was an episode.
They were kind of lame.
There was an episode.
Good
called-
argument.
There was
That's
an,
a great.
Okay, granted, I know I'm not going to win this round,
listen,
but if he fucking wins, like, I'm calling severe.
Guys,
he's got some work to do.
this is where it came.
Work.
There was then
He's going to
by-
fucking get down on his knees and blow you.
By the sixth season, they had some lame. You know what? All comedy shows have lame first startings, right? Then they had an
Not
episode.
Roseanne. There would
This
never
show
have
has a
been.
pretty lame
There would
plot
have
too
never
right
have been
now.
another Halloween episode on any show if they hadn't knocked that out of the
Okay,
park
I wanna
the
tell
first
you-
fucking time.
I want to tell you about. I don't know if you guys all remember. There's an episode called Steve-O.
No. You know
No.
why?
We're not talking about that. Talk about the fucking this alleged Halloween episode.
This is the new episode. It's called Steve-O. Okay, this
That's
is
the
what-
problem,
this is-
Dylan. He's been through 3 already.
This is what
and then
I-
said they were lame.
And then he said they were lame.
This is where it got good. There's a ventriloquist dummy.
You need to stop drinking.
He looks. No, wait, guys. Guys, listen to me.
I'm listening.
There's a ventriloquist dummy. He looks exactly like Urkel, okay? And he terrorizes the
I
Winslows.
don't like that.
The Winslows. That episode was so scary. It wasn't even funny. That's why.
In a comedy.
In a comedy. That's why I'm saying they have the best. The only time I really laughed is when Urkel and his doll were fighting in that episode. Okay?
You're supposed to be laughing in the show because it's a
I
comedy.
know, but this is why there's such a good Halloween episode because they gotta deviate from what's normal, right? Early in the episode, Urkel's doll.
No, that's
Can we
not
just
right.
talk about how many times you've
Listen,
deviated from what's going on?
Urkel's doll, this ventriloquist
love
doll,
Millard.
gets struck by lightning. He gets struck by lightning, and he turns into Steve-O. He turns into, and he has a satanic.
Oh my god, I don't fucking care! Can you just can this now?
No, I want to hear it.
Oh my god.
You know what? Okay, listen, guys. He totally wants to murder the Winslow family. This is like
I want to fucking murder
This is
you!
like a Chucky thing. And then he totally fucking does it. He sucks Eddie into the chimney.
This sucks!
Okay? He runs. He fucking sucks Eddie into the chimney.
This fucking sucks!
Hold on, I'm still explaining. He runs down the kids in Urkel's car, Urkel's little fucking car. He runs over the kids, kills them. He dismembers Laura and hides her body parts in the cupboard. He finally decapitates the mom. And he turns her into a Jack-in-the-Box. This is a scary
I'm
episode.
crying.
We all are, Dylan. We all are.
Urkel at the end.
It's even worse
Okay.
live!
At the end of this episode, Urkel actually finds Carl in one piece, and he's trying to explain to him like what his fucking puppet did, right? And then at the end of the episode, like Carl actually falls over,
God, we're
and they find out that
television.
Steve is actually using him as a puppet. He's got his hand up his fucking back, using him as a puppet. This is a comedy
Who?
show.
Carl?
No, Steve was doing that. The evil ventriloquist. He was doing that. He was using Carl as a puppet. 2 years later, they had an episode called Steve 2. Okay?
I remember this.
Okay.
No
Vaguely.
more.
Urkel.
The rules said one episode.
No, it didn't.
No.
It said
No
multiple.
more. Dave, make him stop.
Steve 2, they had 2 ventriloquist dummies. There was Steve.
Because you know what sucks more than one? Two!
Carl's bad?
Carlsbad. He was the dad. He was the dad's dummy. And they fucking killed the whole family again.
I swear
And-
to God,
and-
if you
and
check
it
right down,
was-
I'm gonna stab you with that fucking pen.
It was like a friggin' Nightmare on Elm Street thing where Carlsbad and Steve hopped from dream to dream. They fucking killed everybody.
Uh-huh.
And see, also in that episode, you will see. You can look this up on YouTube. Urkel, like
Not going
Stevel,
to.
not Urkel. Stevel had this fucking evil stare, and he stole the souls of Urkel. He stole them. Like it was like lightning coming from his eyes. It was lightning coming from his eyes, and then the
I pulled a muscle in my neck from laughing.
ventriloquist Carl and ventriloquist Stevel pretended to be the real Carl and Steve, and everyone in the family didn't even notice they were fucking dolls.
Why did you put me beside him?
They didn't even notice.
Chris.
Oh my god, I want to smack you through my phone.
We're good, Chris. We're good. Okay. Jack.
I don't know if we're good. I'm pretty sure that I managed to get sterile during the time that you talked.
Now, Jeff, you want
Dave, I know I didn't put up an argument, but I want my absolute pain and tears and uncontrollable laughing to count for something.
it counts for something.
I want my passion to come out in this one.
You know what?
And to tell you, like,
I think Jody's fist might come out in this one.
Okay, Jeff, let's just move on to you before it gets any worse. Okay.
All Jeff has to do is literally just say the name of the fucking show, and he's already done better than him.
I picked Home Improvement.
Did you?
Yes.
That's a good
And
pick.
the reason I picked Home Improvement was because Amanda told me to. But
I don't think that's a point for him.
no,
No,
I
we
wouldn't
need a
say it's-
buzzer.
But no, I
Not
do.
that I have
I
anything
do.
against Amanda.
I couldn't remember a lot of the episodes. A lot of them were
I had a lot of problems
before
with
my
that, too.
time and stuff. But at the same
I
time,
don't
watch
remember
them.
anything specific about them. I remember them being decent.
I remember the Roseanne episodes. I will
The
tell you
thing
that.
I think with
They were
Home
fucking
Improvement
hilarious.
and Roseanne is they both basically did the same show.
Yeah.
They did the
It
prank
was.
show where
Yeah.
they did certain gags and the audience ate it up.
But I
The
think in a
same
way that's
guy-
what it was supposed to be, though. It was supposed to be a show for like that. Those episodes were for the fans. They were
Yeah.
for the fans to get the fans to just chuckle.
Absolutely, and the thing with the Halloween episode is they had so many great characters on Home Improvement that they could use for gags. They had
Yeah, because
Al,
he dressed
they
up
had-
as a vampire once.
They had
Yeah.
Wilson. Obviously, they had Tim Taylor, but then they had three boys. And
Dylan's getting bored here.
No, I had to
Oh, it's great compared to yours.
I'm not bored. I had to catch my breath.
I actually watched one of the episodes before I came over. It was the haunting of Taylor House, and they're throwing a Halloween party for Brad, and Brad's dressed up as Raggedy Andy, and he's trying to get this girl who's gonna.
I have to ask, how
as
the hell did
Raggedy
you
Andy.
manage to watch that?
You know what? That's the thing.
Like, was
That's
it
why
on
it's-
Netflix or something?
No, it was on YouTube, but that's why it's the
Oh,
best.
really?
Is because I would never be able to sit through the whole episode, but I was like, I could watch it. I was like, this is actually, it's 1992. It was 23 years ago, and I was like, it's still perfectly watchable. And it was a shitty version of someone bootlegging and typing while like typing on the video, and I was still watching it. Didn't give a shit. So I mean, I think that's pretty good. They did awesome gags though, like awesome scare tactics where they would have heads come out of nowhere. They would have certain gore and certain just little things with like Wilson and carving a jack-o'-lantern with him behind the fence, and just little gags like that with Al where you pull up and he's just his head and he got vampire
And looking
teeth.
back, it was very much the same thing as Roseanne.
It's
No,
almost
it's not
Hey,
as
according to Kevin, it
done
makes
to a
sense.
lesser degree.
I would say it's the
less
same.
edgy, I guess.
I would say it's the same, less edgy, a little bit more wholesome.
a little bit more family friendly, I guess. maybe.
Yeah, but also doesn't lose any of the edge as well, though. Like, it has the edge of the funny pranks.
Yeah.
Like, still. It's just not as, maybe racy as, or maybe racy's not the best word, but.
Roseanne's were more edgy, I think.
Edgy,
and
yeah.
they were definitely, a lot of them were grosser.
Oh, for sure.
that's what made it funny.
the one where
But I think that's the difference between those
The
two
one where
family
Dan's-
dynamics, though, is because the Connors were all about fucking
Yeah.
being dicks to each other, right? Where
Yeah.
I can't remember the line.
Taylors.
Taylors,
The
yeah.
Taylors were all about kind of being wholesome, I guess, to a degree, and getting along. and-
Well, it was almost like the kid was Tim Taylor.
Well, you know what?
well, that's the whole show. That's the
both-
premise of the show.
Yeah, Tim Taylor is
Both
the
my
kid.
episodes, the Winslows all got killed.
Okay, great.
The Winslow's getting killed. You're scaring me.
But that's the whole point.
That's not the point.
The point of Halloween.
We're asking what is the
I
best
think
Halloween
I think
special.
Dave
Not
gets
the
to
one that-
decide what the point
Not the
is
one
here.
that gave us nightmares.
I'm ready to make the ruling unless there's any final thoughts.
If I had to vote for one, I'd go with Roseanne.
I'd go for Family Matters.
Of course.
That's because you're terrible.
Okay, it's a runaway train. Kevin gets the point for Roseanne.
Good job, Kevin.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I'm really pissed off that I didn't think of that first because I totally.
Also,
Doesn't make any sense.
why didn't the Winslows just stay dead? The show was awful.
That show was
Because it was all
awful
a
to start, and
dream.
it kept being awful.
It was all a dream, but I didn't want to tell you it was a dream because.
What, you were trying to scare us?
It definitely worked, but I'm not scared of the episode. I'm kind of scared of you.
I'd be kind of scared to watch it.
Okay, we're going to move on to the music round. Ding, ding, ding. Question this week is, who is the most accomplished member of the 27 Club? And for those of you who don't know, the 27 Club is a group of musicians who all died at the age of 27 under dubious circumstances, either from drug overdoses, suicides.
Whatever.
It was not their time to go.
So this is music, so clearly Dave doesn't know anything about this.
Well, I'm a blank slate.
Dave hates Primus, by the way, Dylan.
What?
Dave hates Primus.
That has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Dave,
No, it doesn't.
Thank you for that useless piece of information.
Now let's get into this. Okay, so we're gonna start with Kevin this round. Kevin, who was your pick for the most accomplished member of the 27 Club?
All right, I'll go through this quick. I picked Janis Joplin.
Sorry. Janis Joplin's fucking terrible. I'm sorry.
Why is she the most accomplished?
Well, Rolling Stone
he's
ranked.
awesome.
I think so too.
Ugh.
Rolling Stone ranked Joplin number 46 on its list of 100 greatest artists of all time. Number 28 on its 100 greatest singers of all time. She was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995. She had 4 studio albums. One went platinum, one went double platinum, and one went quadruple platinum. But the thing about Janis Joplin is she was an inspiration to women. Women before Janis Joplin, women singers were like crappy sort of doo-wop sort of shit, all prim and proper. Janis Joplin was a fucking drug addict that screamed into the microphone. A little different than Yoko Ono. She was actually good.
Oh, I will give you that. She's better than Yoko Ono. I'll give you that.
She was an inspiration for female artists to come, for all rock and roll female artists to come.
Kevin, can you sing us a little bit of Take Another Little Piece of My Heart?
No, I cannot.
Why not?
Because I will
Because he's
not.
not a queer like you.
Do it in a Janis Joplin voice?
No, I can't because she's one of a kind.
Well, then you can't win.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know what my singing has to do with.
I don't expect Kevin to be able to, and no offense, Kevin, to reach
Oh,
the caliber
none taken.
of Janis Joplin's singing ability, and that for him to discredit him.
Don't worry, I didn't take anything away from Kevin for that. Anything else to add? Okay.
Nope, that's it.
Jody?
I picked Kurt Cobain because someone else picked my answer. However, looking into it, I'm kind of glad I did.
Okay, why?
Boo.
All right. Nirvana won one American Music Award in 1995 for Best Heavy Metal / Hard Rock Artist. It was nominated in 1992 as well for the same thing. Nirvana also won one Grammy in 1996 for Best Alternative Music Performance. They were also nominated for 4 others in 1992, as well as 94 and 95. Also won 4 MTV Movie Awards, 2 in 1992 for Best Video and Best New Artist, as well as in 1993 as well for Best Music Video and Best Music Video in 1993 as well. Nirvana actually, speaking of the same list that you actually had, Nirvana is ranked number 30 in the Rolling Stones' Best 100 Musicians of All Time, so they actually beat her.
Which is fucking... That's a travesty.
Yeah, well,
Nirvana is brutal.
I would say Nirvana.
Hey, there's someone who's ranked number 1 in the best musicians of all time, by the way.
Yeah,
And
but
we'll
too
get to
bad
that.
you're the
We'll
one
get
that's
to
arguing for him. Just overall, I think, a solid performer for the most part. Yeah, basically died from a gunshot wound. Supposedly self-inflicted. I'm not buying that. But anyway, just overall, just good artist, good accomplishment, and obviously I think the heart of the question that you were giving was, who died too early, essentially.
Yeah,
And
well,
I think
guess
Kurt Cobain could have went a little
Well,
bit.
all of them, they were 27.
They were all the same age. It's kind of a fair fight because they all had the same amount of
The same
time
amount
to
of
do
time,
whatever.
Yeah, some started later than others, though. So
Yeah, and
I think
they
that's-
lived in different times, but okay. So
Joplin and his choice only died 16 days apart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chris.
So I chose Jimi Hendrix. Luckily, I was first to get my answers in, so I got this choice.
You're giving him a point for being first?
No.
Being prompt.
His career is being prompt. You know what? Listen to this. This guy's career only spanned 4 years, and he's regarded as one of the most influential electric guitarists in the history of music.
Influential. Not influential. Influential.
Influential. I'm Canadian, Dylan.
Have another one.
He's also in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, by the way. They describe him as arguably, Dylan, the greatest instrumentalist in the history of rock and roll music.
Yep.
You guys know the most famous concert of all time is Woodstock. Guess who headlined Woodstock? Jimi Hendrix.
And by the way, Nirvana is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well.
Is there anything else that
not
would
do
set
that.
him aside?
Now you see, Chris, when you have a good choice, we leave you alone.
Also, Rolling Stone magazine ranked Hendrix as the #1 guitar player of all time.
Guitar player, yeah.
Guitar player of all time, and the 6th greatest artist of all time. Unfortunately, the 5 above him are not in the 27 club, so none of you guys will have any of them. I don't know. There's a famous video online of Jimi Hendrix playing the Star Spangled Banner at Woodstock. Have you seen this, Dylan?
Yes, I have.
So
Wouldn't
does
you say
everybody
that
else.
is one of the best performances of all time? This guy used feedback.
I liked it better when he burned his guitar.
He did, but this guy used copious amounts of amplifier feedback, distortion, to replicate the sounds of rockets and bombs and everything with his guitar.
Chris is the most animated debater I've ever seen.
He did.
It's like he's
Like
talking
the
to Dylan.
eyes, the hands.
Well, it's really like
the-
a one.
the-
It's like a
the-
direct
the
channel between them right
passion.
now.
You know what? Hendrix has influenced. Okay, let me tell you about some of the guys that Hendrix has influenced.
Guys, let me tell you about Voltron.
Okay, he's
Let me
influenced
tell
Prince.
you about Steve-O and Older.
These guys. Listen, Jimi Hendrix is also an influence to hip hop artists. Do you know that he influenced De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, Beastie Boys, and Run DMC? Like, that's not even his genre of music, and he's an influence to these guys.
He influenced people that are in that genre. That doesn't mean that he had anything to do with their genre.
Anyways, Yngwie Malmsteen. You know this guy?
Yngwie Malmsteen, yeah.
Gonna just quote his statement as my closing argument, okay? Said, he was the first, he started it all, the rest is history.
Wow, that's
Okay.
Okay.
deep. Like an ashtray. All right.
All right. Going to Jeff.
I picked Jim Morrison.
That's funny because the guy who played him in the movie kind of looks like you, Jeff.
Val Kilmer?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I could play Jim
You
Morrison.
actually do look a lot like Val Kilmer.
Jeff's gonna play Val Kilmer playing Jim Morrison.
Except he's not really fat.
That's
Sorry,
true.
Val Kilmer.
Maybe one day.
Start calling
I don't
Jeff
know, the way you
Iceman.
work, I'm going to go with no.
Okay, well, Jim Morrison, I picked him because all you other fuckers picked every other guy. So I had to pick Jim Morrison, but I still think he's a good pick.
That's an axe.
If we're gonna pick, no, it's not.
Hey, he's the boss, not you.
I'm just listening. Okay.
All right.
I've had, if I'm gonna pick somebody in the 27 Club whose life literally went down into the toilet, it'd be Jim Morrison. And like Jody made the point of who are we talking about? Who really could have come out of the year 27 years of age and really been great. And I think Jim Morrison was at the peak of the career of the Doors. I mean, the LA Woman is their best album, I think. I mean, everyone has their favorite, but I think LA Woman is just a fantastic album. And they were, he only died in 71 or 2. And, he could have went throughout the 70s and really made that decade great for rock music. But like a lot of these people, they died in the early 70s. And music kind of died when they died. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison all died at the same time. And they're kind of the core pennant, maybe the holy trinity of the 27 Club, even though we could talk about Brian Jones, we could talk about Kurt Cobain, and Amy Winehouse most recently, but if we're going to talk about someone who was a lead frontman that was a great singer and that had, really had a different type of music for the time. I mean, with the organ and guitar and bass, and really that's all it was. And later on they added bass. But we have a great singer in Jim Morrison who really personified rock and roll, personified what it meant to live in that age, and he was an icon for a reason, and not because he played an instrument necessarily, but because, he sang, and that was his instrument, but he was a poet, and he was a speaker of the time. He came from a military background. His dad was in the military, and he was basically the epitome of counterculture at the time, and that's why I picked him. I mean, he could have done so much more if he had just been focused, but he was really into drugs, and, fucking his life up. So
mine was really into sucking down the end of a shotgun. That's really what mine was about.
yeah.
After doing a bunch of drugs.
Oh yeah, he was, and fucking Courtney Love, which let's face it, is probably one of the worst decisions the man ever made.
I think Janis Joplin died from drugs.
Drugs, yeah.
Heroin asphyxiation is what.
Jimi Hendrix was asphyxiation.
Drunk, he puked.
Dylan, you want to tell us who you got?
Well, you guys all picked the big four. So I went for somebody who's not typically associated with the big four, but whose influence is absolutely profound on music. And I went with Robert Johnson, quote-unquote master of the blues. Born May 8th, 1911, died August 16th, 1938. He is an absolute innovator, originator, and what's the word? Just a master of the guitar.
Dylan, sounds like you don't know what you want to say.
What?
Sounds like you don't know what you want to say, man.
I was trying to think of the right adjective and words to describe him with.
Like, you're sitting alone. You got a lot of time to think of this shit. We don't.
It's the same amount of time no matter where he's sitting.
I'm not sitting alone. I'm surrounded by my friends. They're just not here. So you're not one of my friends, Chris.
Time is not dependent on how many people are in the room.
Yes. Exactly. Anyway.
I'm just trying to get him an X, okay?
Get yourself an X.
Yeah, that's right. I like this new very competent Dave. I like him. He's good.
Why are you giving me an X?
I'm not giving
Not
No,
you,
he just
Chris.
gave Chris an
No,
X.
I got an X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Robert Johnson mastered a guitar. He was able to sing and play guitar at the exact same time. He used his guitar as the second voice in his songs. He could play a variety of styles, from slide guitar to jazz to pop licks, And these are some of the people that influenced him.
Don't give him a check mark for that. A lot of people can sing and play the guitar at the exact same time.
Okay.
I'll give check marks to whoever I want to give check marks
There's
to.
tons of people who do that.
Except B.B. King.
Okay. But did they do it when this guy was around in like the 20s and the 30s?
I don't
These
know.
are some of the... okay.
I was just young then.
Don't yell at me. These are some of the people that consider Robert Johnson an influence on them. The Rolling Stones, Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton.
He's great.
Robert Plant, Fleetwood Mac, Bob Dylan, Jimi Hendrix, another member of the 27 Club. In the documentary Metal Evolution, Robert Johnson is considered the great-grandfather of all things heavy metal, which was agreed upon by members of Slipknot and Rush.
Okay, so play me one
Boo
Robert
for
Johnson
Rush.
heavy metal song.
He didn't play heavy metal. And then he was listed on the top 100 greatest guitarists of all time.
I would love to hear that 1920s heavy metal.
I'd fucking kill to hear that.
Songs. Guitarist on Gibson.
What's
This is
that?
a guy who
I didn't catch
influenced
that.
Every single one of your members and left an influence probably on every single one of the other members of the 27 Club that was brought up today.
I just need a drink. Okay. Anything else to add? Anybody?
Oh yes, his death is incredibly mysterious and includes a legend that there was a Faustian myth that he sold his soul at a crossroads. Therefore,
it's
my
that
is
guy.
the best fucking
They talked about that on
ever.
Supernatural.
Oh, fuck. Now you've won the point already. Dylan.
Supernatural had that guy in there.
He actually gave a check for
giving you a check
Supernatural.
for something
Jesus,
don't
do you
even
want
know
a
that,
moment?
Dylan.
Like, do you need to like pull some or what here? Like, holy shit!
He met Crowley across.
It's a
Yeah.
fucking TV show, and
You're
they
getting
based it
fucking
on-
excited there.
It didn't happen.
Well, no, Dave. There's no disasters going on right now, so you don't need to do that.
What?
A Faustian myth that he sold his soul at the crossroads?
Yeah.
I don't care if your guy died in the bathtub, Jeff.
What?
Well, at least that actually happened.
This might have,
This guy might have sold his soul to the fucking devil.
at least
Yours
Mike,
is all
I
right.
can guarantee you he did not sell his soul to the devil.
I
That is
guarantee
a
you, out of
bullshit
all the
story.
deaths of these guys, mine was the gruesomest.
my guy actually got a full
I
movie
would
with
argue
Val
that.
Kilmer playing
Nope.
him. Your guys didn't get anybody good.
Mine didn't have a
playing in the
fucking
movie.
head when he was done.
Asphyxiation would hurt.
Are we
Gunshot to the
assuming
head
that Val
was like 2
Kilmer is
seconds.
good?
I'm just saying,
In that
like,
movie, that's all it's done.
all your other guys and lady and influenced every single one of them.
I think this is a hard choice for Dave.
His love for Supernatural may take over.
No personal bias, Dave.
Supernatural can't take over, Dave.
Do you want to own that, Dylan?
Do I want to own what?
The Supernatural reference?
Hey, you brought it up, man. Whatever's gonna give me.
You spoon fed him the answer.
so-
you wanted.
Okay. I guess I can't do that. Point goes to Chris.
What?
Yeah.
Bullshit! I mentioned Rush.
I love Rush, but they're not part of the 27 Club.
Rush needs a fourth member to fucking sing.
Geddy Lee is still alive, and he's awesome. And shut up, Kevin.
Dylan.
Oh, he's
I know.
brutal.
Oh, he's a
brutal
terrible
singer.
He's an awesome singer.
Oh.
He's up
You know
there.
what?
He's up there with
Brutal.
Kim Mitchell for me.
All the money he's made, and he can't hire someone to sing the fucking songs. It's
Actually,
brutal.
Dylan, this is the only thing we can agree on. Like, Geddy Lee is an awesome singer. So is Les Claypool.
No, he's just better bassist. Let's be honest.
Les Claypool's
Both
an
are.
awesome singer too.
That's Claypool's on a
Yes, but that's because he's not trying to sing like somebody's grabbing his balls with a fucking wrench.
I guess so.
Okay, guys. Well,
He's also not like 70.
How the fuck did Chris win that?
Chris hit all 3 points. He had facts, he had passion, and he had creativity. And he had them in abundance.
My
So.
guy influenced his.
You weren't passionate, really. Like, I actually have a question mark for whether you were passionate or not. I couldn't really decide.
Literally, Dave,
Sorry, Dylan. Okay.
you let me down.
The next one will be interesting. Okay, a little bit of a reset here, guys. Ding, ding, ding. Sports question. Where would you like to see the next NHL team, and what would they be called, or what should they be called in that city? I believe this round starts with Jody.
All right. Well, I picked Las Vegas because I know that might happen now, which is even better.
They
Okay.
actually have an application in.
They got an application in because the people of Toronto decided they didn't want two teams that suck, so that worked out well. I went for a very simple answer. I want to call them the Las Vegas Aliens. And I'm going to tell you why.
The Aliens.
Aliens.
Aliens?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. Just listen for a minute.
Can't finish.
All right? Can't finish! Can't finish.
I'm really glad you didn't say like New Mexico or Nevada or any of those states.
No, I wanted to just throw it out there. I only have one reason for this, and that's because when the announcer says they're playing Nashville and he says today's matchup is Aliens versus Predators, I'm gonna laugh.
That is a really fucking good reason.
Thank you. That's my whole argument, Dave, and I hope you enjoyed that and got a chuckle out of it.
Well, okay, what would their jersey color be?
Oh, green, obviously.
Green, like an alien green?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what kind of socks?
Socks.
What kind of socks?
What kind of
Fucking the kind that go on your feet.
Hockey socks.
I'm gonna go with
Fuck's sakes.
black with like kind of a silver line on it.
Socks.
He didn't
That's
ask for
kind of
the
like to be
color.
like a xenomorph from the Aliens movie.
Yeah,
That's
he
worse than what superheroes you'd put on your fucking
I need to
team.
get this angle. I need to see
The,
Kevin's reaction.
the Vegas baseball team is already called the Area 51s.
Are they?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's a terrible name.
Oh,
I
it's
didn't know that,
brutal.
actually.
It's almost as brutal as asking what socks.
Did I fulfill all your questions?
Yeah, you have.
I gave you a chuckle. I answered all your questions.
Who would their rivalry be?
Obviously, Nashville Predators.
All the other teams.
We're gonna get
The Predators for
We're
sure.
gonna get to Kevin last.
The Predators for sure.
He'll be ready for these questions.
But the Predators, they don't have like the Predator as their logo.
I know, but it's
They
still
might
funny.
change it.
They need to
Are
change
the
it.
Las Vegas Aliens gonna have like an alien from the movie Aliens?
Oh yeah, like a xenomorph. Yeah, like one of
or
those.
like an alien with an egghead.
Nah, just normal.
Like a green
like
guy.
Ripley Alien?
I think we'll do the green one.
Okay,
Yeah, I think the green
that's
one
a
makes more
little
sense,
more
yeah.
obscure.
There might be licensing issues.
Because
It'd be a little bit harder to get Fox to do that.
The movie Alien would be scary. Yeah, that'd be scary.
They could have like all black jerseys and like sneak up behind people. And
I already
snap
committed
on
to
hockey
green.
sticks.
I'm on the aliens.
But either way, Aliens versus Predators, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Chris-
That's all I'm saying.
Chris, tell me about yours.
Okay, can you put Dylan towards me?
No more.
Why do you always need to
I guess I
talk to
can't really
Dylan?
control the situation. So.
Well, I need.
Where's the speaker on this? Is it on this side?
It's actually on that
It's
side.
over
All
there.
right.
Yeah.
Here, there we go.
All right.
All right.
Well, my choice, unfortunately, Dylan.
I don't like the
Or
way
Dave.
you're staring at me. It's like,
I of course would like it to be a Canadian team instead of an American team, so I did not choose.
I don't care. Why are you?
Las
Why?
Vegas.
But
Why
let's be
the
honest,
tobacco?
we need more American support.
Okay, my choice is Hamilton,
Ontario.
Hamilton, Ontario.
Wow, did you come out with that when you after you had about 3?
I did.
You weren't
this-
even so.
What would their name be? The Stench Blossoms?
Listen, I did this.
Steel pipes.
Does it have something to do with steel or tigers?
I did this
Or
at like.
smelling really, really
I
bad?
did this at like 11 o'clock in the morning, so I
Is it
didn't.
gonna be?
I only
is
had
this
like
gonna
3
be the
beers by
Hamilton
this time.
Stinkies?
I only had like 3 beers by this time,
Uh-huh.
and I think
And I was still busy watching Family Matters.
you guys are gonna be impressed. They should be called the Hamilton Smoke.
I was not that far off with Stench Blossoms, right?
Oh, you really weren't that far off.
Is
The
it
Hamilton-
because of
What's
the
going to be on their
glass?
jersey? What's going to be on their jersey?
Just a
A
really
homeless person hitching a ride from Burlington
Why
to
are you
Hamilton?
Why are you guys all
Is it
attacking me?
because of all the
You know what's
meth
you know what's gonna be
labs
awesome?
coming out of Hamilton?
Okay, it's gonna be like the devils had fire, but there was then the smoke. It's like this will. It's gonna be
The flames and the smoke?
yeah, the flames and the smoke.
The Hamilton smoke smell us coming from a mile away.
Fire.
This is gonna be an
If
awesome.
only that was true.
This is
When
gonna
there's
be.
smoke, there's flames.
You know what? This is gonna be.
I'm surprised you didn't come up with.
This
I'd rather
thing-
just put an evil Urkel doll on the front.
This team is going to.
Just to note, their socks
This-
would have holes
listen,
all
guys.
in it, all over.
This
the front.
team
They
is
only
going,
wearing one though.
guys. This team is going to be a commentator's dream. Like, hey, guess what? Hey, today the Leafs went up in smoke. You know what? It's going to be a commentator's dream to have that name. I don't know what their logo is going to be like, but it's going to be cool. And it also represents the city of Hamilton
smoky.
as well.
Here comes a new batch of smokes.
Okay, mine.
Racist. That is so racist. Chris should be eliminated for racism.
The name of my team actually represents the city of Hamilton so well.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dylan. I don't know if you know Hamilton that well, but they're known as
It
I've
stinks.
heard of it.
Like, literally.
they're known as a city with like a whole bunch of steel factories and there's fucking smoke everywhere.
When you call them
Yeah,
like
because
So-
of the meth labs.
when you call them like the Steelers or like something.
You know what? I was thinking the Steel Hawks or something, but that would be stupid. So I chose the smoke.
Okay.
That'd be more like
The
the
Hamilton
Shithawks.
smoke is because it's better. It's you know what? I'm thinking about the media as well. The media, the press. Like think about the Hamilton smoke. That's a name that you can remember. That's a name you're gonna want to root for the smoke.
So,
Dude,
Yeah, but how could you not
Taves.
think that the aliens would be? It's
Not only that,
Jonathan Taves, what's it like to play for the
Hamilton
Smoke?
smoke
What's it like to
sounds
be
like
a
a
smoke?
strain of meth that would come out of the
What's
city.
it like to be
not
a
only
smoke?
that, not only that. Okay, the city of Hamilton.
Who would their rivalries be? The bucket of
When they
water?
lose, everyone can just throw their
The Calgary,
cigarettes on the
the
ice.
Calgary Flames. Come on.
Exactly, the flames versus the smoke. And then don't
Well, one's better than the other, so we're
you
gonna
gotta
know
think
how that
about
would
this as
win.
well. Hamilton is one of the only cities in Canada that I think could actually support an NHL team. Like they would fill a stadium every night.
Oh, I know.
I don't know about
No.
that.
They would. You know,
Yeah,
friggin'
they sell
the
discount
Leafs.
tickets
The
to
Leafs
the
play in
Bullheads.
Buffalo, and
They
Buffalo
The
sells.
AHL team left, and we had to fill it with a
They don't
CHL
fill.
team.
They don't fill that for the Bulldogs. I'll tell you that.
Who cares about the Bulldogs? The Bulldogs are not the NHL. That's not the same
The
thing.
Bulldogs are leaving.
That's not the
They
same
literally
thing.
left Hamilton.
They left Hamilton.
There's
Why?
700,000 people in Hamilton. There's enough to fill those seats every night. And if there's not, people will come from
Yeah,
Toronto
but you
just
need
because they want to watch
money.
an NHL
You need
game.
money.
And they will come.
They
just
want to
'cause-
watch a game where they actually could win.
They will come just because they can't get Leafs tickets. Even the Leafs are.
Well, that's
fucking
because the
losing.
Hamilton tickets they'll be giving away 2 for 1, and it'll come with like a complimentary
Smoke.
beer with a
I can't
hole in
believe
it.
You picked the smoke.
It'll be exciting. Ontario needs a third NHL team. We really do because this
Because
is
the
the
ones
only
we have aren't very
We
good.
really do.
This is the only place in the world where we can sell out stadiums all the time.
No, the Leafs sell out stadiums.
Do you think Las Vegas would fucking sell out a stadium? No.
Absolutely.
People are there to see Celine Dion and Penn and Teller. They're not there to see the friggin'
I think
whatever
they
you
go
call
for other
them.
reasons besides that. But
The aliens.
yeah, the aliens.
Yeah.
They're really into the anal probing.
Okay, I'm done.
So we
I
got.
was just
That
gonna
sounds like a
say,
point for me,
We got,
actually.
we got aliens and we got smoke.
I never even thought of bringing up the probing thing.
I'm done.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay, I also agree with Chris that there should be a third team in Ontario, but not in Hamilton.
Well, okay.
My team is the Mississauga Rattlers. Yes.
Do
Are
you
they all gonna
even
wear
have
turbans?
reptiles in Canada?
No, rattlers as in snakes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what I understand. A snake is a reptile. I thought it was too cold in Canada.
No, we have snakes up here, and there's actually a certain kind of snake called the Mississauga Rattler,
We do have them.
and they are.
That's an actual snake?
Yeah, they're poisonous. They are in Mississauga. They're known for being a Mississauga thing.
How many people have died from the Mississauga Rattlers?
I have no
Jeff?
idea. I didn't look that
Okay,
up.
None.
How many
you-
people
you
died from
didn't-
Hamilton smoke? Probably somebody.
But I will say
Everyone that lives in Hamilton eventually dies. from
Okay,
this
so I'm
smoke.
gonna tell you your biggest problem with this whole franchise. Okay,
Why?
your absolute biggest problem with Mississauga
Okay.
is that it's all Chinese people.
It's not.
Wow.
They don't watch fucking hockey.
No, it's
Maybe they
Chinese,
do.
brown, black, white. It's everything.
Oh no, it's almost all
It's a
Chinese
very
people.
Brampton. is-
Not a lot of white.
Brampton's
but
all Indian.
Yeah, like I think Mississauga is a pretty diverse place.
It
It's
is.
got just as much or more people than Hamilton.
Can tell you something, guys. Guess who works in Mississauga? This guy.
Are there white people?
There's no white people. When I go there,
I don't know if that's here
I
or
can,
there,
I can
but
agree with him on this.
when
I do.
I go there, I'm the only white guy.
When you're a kid,
All the white people
you
that
don't
are
need to be
supposed to be
white to like
Mississauga?
hockey.
No, absolutely not. They
Second,
even do a Punjabi edition of Leafs games. Now.
If there's going to be a second team for Toronto, it should be a team that kind
That
of
can
has
play?
that. No, just it should be
That
a
can win a
city
cup.
in a city that is kind of its own thing, at least somewhat. I find Markham is not its own city; it's just Toronto.
Markham's all Chinese people too.
Yeah, well, it is. But
Not that I have anything against Chinese people.
Mississauga is also wedged right between Oakville, Burlington, and Toronto. So there's lots of white people in those places.
Yeah, but
and
it's all
It's
there's-
not
people
just
there.
okay. For the argument, I'm not judging based on where the white people are. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm trying to tell you that
Jody, there's lots
fiscally
of
wise, this would not work.
There's lots of Mexicans in Vegas. You don't see me calling you out for your Mex. Like Dylan's not living in Vegas.
Yeah, but, tickets for Vegas hockey games are going to come with your admission to the casino. Like, what does it matter?
My rebuttal against Mississauga is going to be Mississauga is almost part of the GTA. Like, they are way too close to Toronto to have another team.
Well,
So are Anaheim and LA.
and you have three teams in New York.
But, like,
yeah.
You got 3 teams in New York City.
Toronto's
Not
the
to mention
biggest
California.
hockey market. Toronto, not Hamilton. Toronto is the biggest hockey
but people
market.
will drive from Toronto to Hamilton, no problem. They drive to Buffalo.
No, they won't.
Nobody wants to
Nobody
go to
drives into Hamilton.
Nobody wants-
Everybody is trying to escape.
Nobody wants to.
You're wrong.
It's true, though.
Kevin's got a whole bunch of
And
points
you-
he hasn't even given his team.
You
yet.
put a building in Mississauga, and that building will be LA Anaheim effect, and you'd have a great rivalry with the Leafs, and it would be a team that's not really Toronto, but it is Toronto, and I think that's what's important. I don't think you put a team in Hamilton.
No, that's just 2 Toronto teams.
It'll be like a Toronto team that could actually win something.
Yes, that too. You didn't ask me what rivalry or colors or anything.
Well, what colors?
Oh, fuck. He's got all that prepared.
What colors are they going to be?
I was gonna pick dark brown and light brown. So yeah.
The who team?
I would
The
think that would be more the
There's an
Hamilton
expert in
team.
right there.
No, they're dark gray. It's their
Smoke, right?
Smoke.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be the smoke. It's gonna be an awesome logo.
They'd be dark gray and shit
You
brown.
didn't even have a logo in mind.
Oh, I do. I just didn't tell you about it.
What is it?
Well, it's
You
Well,
actually
fucking
said I
say-
don't know what the logo would be.
no, it's
But it would be awesome.
Okay.
Is exactly what he said.
it's,
Yeah, why are we back on him again?
it's gonna say smoke, and out of the O, there's gonna be like this little stream of smoke coming up, and it's gonna be awesome.
Wow.
It's like,
I still think it's going to be
I
a
can
homeless
picture
guy
my-
hitchhiking
it's
from
gonna be-
Burlington to
We
Hamilton.
can design this with a bunch of kindergartners with crayons.
No, it's gonna be-
Well,
Fantastic.
my Mississauga Rattler logo would be a little different. It would, the snake would be wrapping around a broken stick and then biting into a stick, kind of like the sharks. So again, yeah.
That sounds familiar. I know a team that has a bit in hockey stick.
What color are their socks?
Black.
I'm waiting for someone
Black,
to just
brown,
say,
and
who the
white.
fuck
Those are the
cares?
colors. Black, brown, and white.
That was the color of my freaking grade 1 to 6 school.
Okay.
We were like, orange and brown are what we wear. We had this whole song and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Now I know that
Well,
Dave.
now you took the
Dave
short
watches
bus.
hockey for the
That
socks.
should be the song for the
And you,
Mississauga Rattlers, I guess.
and you took the short bus to school, I'm sure.
No, that was in Mississauga too. It was in Meadowvale.
So, Kevin.
You all right there, Dylan?
All right,
I'm good,
sorry,
Jody.
it goes to
You
Dylan.
Dylan
next.
first. Dylan
Just
first.
wait for your a notification on your Facebook because you probably get a kick out of it.
Dylan,
All right.
Dylan, what's your pick? Sorry, I was.
Am I going or is Kevin going?
Sorry,
You're going.
It's you next.
Okay, so I went with I picked a U.S. state. I picked Vermont, and I went with the Vermont Champs. Now that sounds
Sounds exciting.
It sounds like they take the short bus.
Dylan, I gotta say, I did a little bit of research on this. The biggest city in Vermont is Burlington, Vermont, and it has like the whole metro area is about 200,000 people. Doesn't seem big
okay.
enough.
Okay, well I don't care because most of the states that I found, I'm like, they don't have snow. They shouldn't have hockey. Vermont gets snow. I was originally going to call them the Vermont Brewers, but I figured that'd be too, because Vermont produces a lot of good beer, but I figured that'd be too close to the Bruins. So I went with the Vermont Champs.
Plus, there's already a baseball team called the Brewers.
You are aware that the Bruins are about, being a bear.
Yeah, but there's the Milwaukee Brewers. Like,
No, I know, but I didn't say
There are
Bruins.
other cold states like
I said-
Wisconsin that would be a better choice.
Iowa's cold.
Okay, let me finish. Thanks, Steve.
Iowa's cold. Thanks
I was
for that.
going to go with Brewers, but I felt that it was too close to Bruins, so I went with Champs because it's named after Champ, which is the lake monster that lives in Lake Champlain. I'm like, that's a perfect name for a sports team. Their jersey would probably be some sort of like teal color with like kind of like the Salt Sharks color, but with like a
Everybody wants to be my
green,
team.
sea serpentish kind of thing on there. And that's my argument. I think the name fits really well, and I love Vermont. And they
Good
make
for you,
good
Dylan.
beer. My whole reason for this is beer. They
Good
would have
for you.
great beer at the stadium.
Okay, what color are the socks?
They'd probably be white.
White. They would be white.
In advance of your question to me, I'm probably going to go with
Why
white
do you
too.
care about the-
'Cause who
Dave,
gives
do you
a
wanna
shit
know
about
what color
socks?
their jockstrap is?
Yeah, Dave is really
You
into
do.
fashion, apparently.
It's all with the fashion.
He is a 31-year-old woman part-time.
Yes, because
Most of
he's,
the time.
Because he's drinking girls' night out. And
Not tonight, I'm all
No, he's
man.
on Sleeman's tonight. He's actually kind of manly today.
Yeah.
Is
for a
he
couple
updating
minutes.
his Pinterest?
Yes, he's swallowing Sleeman.
I don't know.
Sleeman.
I got the bone shaker.
Is that like meat spinning?
I'm the bone shaker.
It's Meat Spin, the beer.
Okay, let's go to Kevin.
All right, I went with another Canadian team because there's no team on the East Coast, so I went with Halifax.
Nice.
The Halifax Down Homers. Now let me explain. Every person I know from the East Coast, when they describe another person from the East Coast, they always call them, well, he's a down homer. He's a down homer. It's an East Coast thing that we don't understand.
Have you heard this?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Because we're from Nova Scotia.
I've
Like
heard
our
it
family's
before,
from there.
I never knew it was like a main thing.
All I've
So
ever
you
heard
know he's
anybody.
bullshitting you already.
I just never really heard that. Like
Yeah.
I
He's a down
heard it
homer.
called down home.
I think he's bullshitting
Down
you
home
already.
Maritimers. We call them Maritimers.
I think it's bullshit.
Down home is what I hear all the time, but down homers is like that's what I hear. Oh, he's a down homer, especially when they're talking about someone who got drunk and did something fucking ridiculous. He's a down homer. Don't worry about it. So that's why they're the down homers.
And what's the logo?
What's the logo? Well, it's fishing all over there, right? So I figure a lighthouse bringing in a fishing boat, just the way the team will bring in the cup.
That's
Fishing.
pretty lame. Pretty lame, Kevin. Just thinking.
Hey, Jody, check your Facebook.
Yeah, I just got it.
That's what I think it's gonna look like.
Halifax. The East Coast needs a team. It's Canada's game, and
I
Montreal
don't care.
is
Can we
the
just gang up on
closest.
Chris again because I just made a logo for his team.
What? You made a logo for.
That's the smoke logo right there.
That's not how it looks, Dylan.
That's not how it looks.
At least you're excited about my team. So it shows you
I'm
I have
excited
I have
about
your
it.
support. I have your support.
Team
You
logo
like my
looks like
team.
it has a
Halifax
Looks like
team
it
is a
doesn't
team
mark
for
for
the
me.
whole fucking Atlantic, the Atlantic provinces.
America. Yeah, sure.
It's not like that though, Dylan. The O is gonna be orange.
Shut up! I don't care. Kevin, go on.
Why orange?
Can we get a fucking move on here?
All right, rulings made. Chris wins.
Woo!
What?
2 rounds now.
Are you kidding me?
2 rounds, bitches.
Are you serious?
Jody,
You got the
let's just
most
walk
points.
Why?
Sorry?
off. Jody, let's just leave.
I'm beginning to think that's a good idea.
This
He get the
is
most points there.
bullshit.
He just did.
I'm telling you, if Chris
Bullshit.
wins a fucking... If Chris
His
wins this
player on his
game...
team is called a smoke.
His team is called the Dave, you're gonna be smoked the next time I see you.
Dylan doesn't know about Hamilton though. It's a smoky city. That makes sense.
It's not
Hamilton, I
smoke,
don't give a
it's
shit
smog.
about
There's
it.
a difference.
Okay, we're moving on to history.
What? Whatever.
Don't worry, we all do that at least once an episode.
All right, this should be an interesting one. Okay, let's move on to
It's
history.
not gonna be interesting at all.
You're not looking good for this one already.
No, I'm
Chris.
not. I'm not.
And he's starting it too, which makes it even better.
Okay.
I already got an X. We didn't even
No, you
start.
didn't get an X. You didn't get an X. Okay.
All right.
Let's move on to history. Ding, ding, ding.
Barely argued. Whatever. You guys, fuck off.
All right, history. What is the most interesting international border dispute? We're starting with Chris.
Okay, I chose the Bajo Nuevo Bank dispute.
The what? I couldn't hear. All I heard was the.
I tried to deposit some money, and they fucking said no.
I chose the Bajo Nuevo Bank dispute.
What was it? I didn't hear it.
It's a dispute going on. Let me tell you
You
about
can't
it.
even say dispute.
Let me tell you, it's going on in the Caribbean Sea right now, okay? And there's 4 countries claiming ownership of this land. That's why it's interesting.
Which countries?
Because it's still ongoing. If you really want to know, Kevin.
Yes, I do really want to know. That's why I asked the question.
There's Colombia, United States, Jamaica, and Nicaragua.
Okay, so it basically doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't fucking matter at all. It's just a fucking small island. It's really small, but it's amazing to me that these 4 fucking countries, like big nations, are fighting over this. Like, why do you care about? Like, I think I.
It's amazing to me that you have
I
enough
thought-
brain cells to even breathe.
Oh my god! That was mean!
This is an island. Okay, it's 26 kilometers long and 9 kilometers wide. That's it. It's a small fucking space, and there's 4 countries fighting over it. They've been fighting over it since 1660, and nobody owns it yet.
You had the first
Because
fucking
nobody
pick
cares
that you
about
came
it.
up with?
The fighting over it is like once a year. They're like, "Hey, that's ours," and they're like, "No, it's not."
This would be
That's the fighting over it.
You had the first fucking pick, and this is what you came up with.
So they're basically fighting over the island from
wins this
Jurassic
point,
Park, but it
That's
has no
the problem.
If he wins this point, I'm punching you in the fucking face.
What I want to do?
I'll hear him out.
Okay, what
hear him out. I'm dipping a bag.
What I have a plan to end this dispute, though. Once I win the
Give up and just
You have a plan?
call it international territory.
I'm gonna win the lottery of $50 million, and I'm gonna just fucking buy this island, and it'll be mine.
Why haven't
Because every sound plan starts with "I'm going to win the lottery."
That's a good plan.
That's it.
And then if I have some money left over, I'm going to create the Hamilton smoke.
And it's the most
They're going to
interesting.
practice on this island, and you have to fly to this island to go see them play. By the way, did we mention that we're opening up Jurassic Park here too?
By the way,
One fucking dinosaur. It's all over it.
Chris,
It'll always be his
stop.
favorite
It'll
dinosaur.
only be his
you know what? I just want to tell you this. In Honduras also had claim to this island, but in
Whoa,
Hold on.
That's a game changer right there.
In 1999, they just basically said, "Fuck it." You
know why?
Honduras is broke?
Dave, I beg you.
Honduras
Just say
gave up
fuck
'cause-
it to this and move on.
Chris,
said it was
your
the most
problem with
interesting
buying the
dispute.
island
Why
is
it
that
interesting?
that now puts Canada as the 5th country involved. You will not be able to defeat the 4 other much bigger countries than you. If you spend all $15 million that you win, guess what? Even though the United States is so in debt, it still has more money than you. So does Colombia, and so does Jamaica, and so
Yeah,
does
but
the
they
other
might,
fucking country
they
that I don't
might
remember.
give me this island for like 10
Why
million
have
or
we
something.
wasted this much time?
Okay, you're done.
It has been since 1660.
Okay.
No one cares.
That's
Okay.
why it's been so long. Because no one cares. Even the people fighting over it don't fucking care.
They're like,
This is
fuck it.
hilarious.
All right.
We'll do it on the next Tuesday.
Jeff.
Hey, it's hard to follow that.
The best thing about it is he had first pick.
One. I know. Well, he had first pick on all these.
I hate history, by the way. I wish we
Oh
didn't
my
have that
god.
I picked the Kashmir region. I don't know if you guys know about this one, but it's in India.
Oh, sorry, wrong Kashmir.
That's right. That's right. It was awarded, or it was kind of split in 3 in 1947 by the British. It's in India, sort of. I guess it's disputed between.
Well, it's kind of part of the dispute.
Yeah, that's kind of part of the dispute.
Where is it?
Between India, China, and Pakistan. And those are 3 pretty scary nations. They all have nuclear weapons, and they all don't seem to like each other very much, especially India and Pakistan. The area is predominantly Muslim, but the Indians believe it is their land. The Pakistanis believe it's their land because there's mainly Muslims there, but there's lots of Muslims that live in India. They've fought 3 wars over the region, one in 1947, one in the 80s, one in 1999. This region is literally a region that could become a battleground for World War III, and that's why it is very interesting as far as the dispute. Literally, people are arguing over a northern tip of India, which could have valuable minerals.
Just the
I don't-
tip.
Just the tip of the nation. And you got 3 superpowers. I wouldn't say Pakistan's a superpower, but they're got nuclear weapons and makes them right there.
If they got
on the
nuclear
international
weapons, I
stage.
think they're superpower.
Yeah, so all 3 of them have the potential to do real scary stuff, and this has been going on for 60, 70 years.
Guess I know that I obviously lost this round already.
So anything can happen here, and it's
At least people actually care about the land.
and it's a border dispute that's
Someone
still
gives a
going on.
shit.
If you ask a Pakistani, it's their land. If you ask an Indian, it's their land. If you ask a Chinese, a bunch of it's their land, and this probably isn't going away. So that's
Okay.
why I picked this one.
Okay. Dylan.
Doesn't help that Jeff's like a history major.
Well, he's.
It does actually help him quite a bit.
It helps him.
Actually, that does help.
You know a lot longer than me. You know a lot more.
Doesn't
about
help me
music.
that just. What?
And you still picked the worst fucking thing you
Anyway,
Dylan.
I can't wait to hang out with Frank, who's normal tomorrow.
That's debatable. All right.
Compared to you,
Well, that's not debatable.
Dylan, if I was there, I would go mosh with Promise with you.
All right, this video's fucking me up because I'm looking at Chris through a bottle. It looks so freaky. No, leave it. It's great. All right.
It improves things. After all, he is the lesser-looking Seymour.
It's arguably a more normal-looking Seymour. I picked the South African Border War, which impressively ran from 1966 to 1989. It took place in Southwest Africa and now Namibia and Angola. And basically during it, South Africa and its allied forces, the National Union for Total Independence of Angola, or UNITA.
Hey Dylan, can you give us an answer while you look at us instead of your screen?
Shut up! You can't do anything about it.
We seem to be losing Dylan.
The Angolan government, Southwest Africa's People's Organization, SWAPO, great abbreviation, and their allies, mainly Cuba. It began after World War II. League of Nations dissolved. South African government wanted to take over the territory. It formally applied to the UN.
I'm bored. I just reading this. I don't even care. I just read
I'm
this.
just giving you the origins of it, but whatever. Apparently, Jeff does a better job of it.
Did you say Cuba?
Cuba was one of the allies to Southwest Africa.
Why was Cuba involved?
Fuck, I don't know, but they were.
Probably piss off somebody.
Hey, that's one of my stock
That's kind of what
answers.
Cuba does.
Even though the government applied to take over this land, it was refused because the indigenous people were not consulted. This led to a legal battle, and then there was a massive territorial dispute. It also had to deal with the development of apartheid in Southwest Africa. The officially kind of started on August 26, 1966. During the course of the 20 odd years that it was running, there were 52 operations during the South African Border War, including Operations Drama, Operation Clinker, Operation Salamander, Operation Wallpaper, Operation Cerebus,
I'm fucking bored. Can you fix this now?
Wait.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
Operation Abrasion, Operation Merlin, and Operation Magneto. There was apparently an
Magneto.
operation named
Magneto right there.
At the point you had Magneto and you had Professor X
And a wallpaper.
and a wallpaper and Merlin. So I say this is an impressive. I say this is an impressive border dispute based on time only, since it ran about 20 years compared to some of the other ones that I looked at. I'm done.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. I have nothing else to say.
All right, Kevin.
All right, I picked Crimea. Now the reason I picked it is because it's eerily similar to Hitler's annexation of Austria. The reasons are the same. I mean, Putin said that he wanted to repatriate all the Russians that were in Ukraine, in Crimea, and Hitler did the same thing. He felt Austria and Germany were the same country, and it shows a kind of similarity in the way they think. But I think that Russia is testing. They're testing their borders. They're testing the West right now with taking land and see what the West will do. And they're just kind of like, fuck you, we'll do it anyway, right? The West, what, we did sanctions? They laughed at the sanctions. They're like, it doesn't even affect us. Who gives a shit? It's like,
Affects them a little, but yeah,
it affects them nothing.
Not as much as a bullet coming at them.
Nothing.
So.
And they're having border disputes all over the place, but Crimea really strikes me just because of that, because it's repatriating these Russians, and then they go and have a fucking election where 96% decide to stay in Russia. Yeah, okay. Any election is won by 96%.
Right.
It's ridiculous, and I don't think so much that we're heading towards like a World War III, but I think we are heading towards another USSR. They're going to keep. Cold War? They're going to keep pushing. They're going to keep pushing into those Eastern Bloc countries.
Well, if they try to do it against a NATO country, it's going to be a problem. But
I doubt
or
it.
a European Union country.
Yeah, they won't.
Well,
I don't think they'll.
Ukraine was borderline European Union.
I think that the goal is to go back to.
Were they?
But if they try to do it to Poland, if they
or
try
even Romania,
or Latvia,
I don't think anybody's going to give a shit about Latvia.
Latvia's no, but only because they're a NATO country, and we're in NATO, and so is the U.S. and a
I
bunch
really
others.
don't. At this point,
If you attack anybody-
this is why Russia is testing. This is why they're doing this.
Well, Ukraine's not
Because
in
they
NATO.
don't think what?
Ukraine's not in NATO.
Fine. But they're
Wait,
they're
I'm
gonna
gonna just interrupt a sec. Chris, did you just say that I fuck Jody Simpson on Facebook?
Yep. His mind. You gotta read
You
it.
need to learn how to spell.
This is what I find. I
Because
find
it's
it
M
interesting
space capital I
because
space ND.
it shows a kind of new Russia. Well, we're all sitting around again, thinking that they're our friends and that they're done because they're weak. No, they're not. They're going to try to go back to the USSR, at least in part. Anyway, grab as much
maybe
land
not
as
call
they
themselves
can.
that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, guys, we're in a podcast, Facebook.
Yes.
All right, Jody, do you want to give me your argument?
I can. I picked one a little bit different than everybody else here. I picked the North Korea-South Korea conflict. It is a border. It's been a border since 1953, actually, because of the demilitarized zone that was set up after the war.
Mm-hmm.
It is by far one of the most nerve-wracking borders on Earth. Although the Korean War is technically over in the U.S., obviously the North and South are still very much at war. This maintains to this day. It's one of the longest-running conflicts there is. I'm sure it might not be the longest one, but it's definitely up there. They have guard towers, thousands of troops just standing there staring at each other. Like, that's really all it is. It's that tense of a conflict.
What's not that tense?
Well, it's pretty tense.
They don't do anything.
Is
it's-
really
they're both waiting to see who's going to
Is it
trigger
a
first,
disputed border though? Like
No.
The
What's
question.
that? No,
the question
well,
was,
it's a disputed border to the point that each one of them wants the other land, realistically.
no.
So it is
they
still a
don't.
disputed border.
They don't. They
Yes
don't.
and no. Like, yes, that's their official stance, but none of them, either side, do anything about it, and nor will they.
Yeah.
No, either side's waiting for the other side to trigger.
The other side,
trigger
each
happen,
side
that's
wants
all.
to like take over the other.
And the question
Well,
was,
yeah.
is this
I don't think South
interesting?
Korea gives a flying fuck.
What's that?
As long as they
Is
keep
this
making
interesting?
It's
TVs.
more interesting than yours, Chris. So let's go.
I don't know where you get off saying that it's not interesting. I think it is.
I didn't expect.
It's
to
much
win
more
this one, by the way.
interesting than shit that the
So-
fucking other countries don't even care
Some
about.
island that no one gives a fuck about.
I didn't expect to win this round.
This is
But if I
Good.
do, that would be fantastic.
This is a territorial debate that's been around since the 50s, and it hasn't stopped. It's still there. It's a constant problem. They have, in the demilitarized zone, they have fencing, mines, troops on both sides.
Yeah.
Both of them constantly are having conflicts.
They
There's
also
always
have a-
somebody that's taking a shot.
They also
Another guy
have-
takes a shot back.
They also
It's-
have a golf course in between.
Yes, they do.
the zone, so it shows you how much.
But that's
That's where all the business gets done.
Yeah, exactly.
But I actually have a couple friends who have served there, and I will say that they say it is one of the most intense areas they can be in.
Oh,
It
it's
is-
messed up, for sure.
It's fucked up, and it's not uncommon for every day for somebody to take a shot across the fence. It literally, that happens constantly, and yeah, we don't always hear about it because it's pretty much old news at this point now. Everybody's just expecting it. But it is, based on, it being a border dispute, it is a border dispute because realistically, each side wants both sides.
It's not unlike Jeff's.
Yeah,
No,
well,
ours are similar. but
Ours
not
are
the
very
same.
similar, but they're not the same, no, for sure.
No.
But I didn't go in the traditional sense that a lot of you guys did, but it is still a border. It's still.
These are two nations that kind of have been fighting a war since the 50s.
Yeah.
And mine is three different nations are arguing about
Why is
one piece of
China
land.
involved in this
Because
one?
they were given the Brits are dicks, number one, because almost every land dispute has something to do with the British after World War
Right.
One
The
or World War Two
Empire, yeah.
being
Hey,
assholes.
hey, choose your words wisely, Jeff.
They were
Your
being
ladies-
assholes.
your
They were
ladies
assholes
are
with
Brit.
Israel. They were assholes with friggin' this Kashmir thing. They've done it a lot of times where they've given people land that necessarily shouldn't have.
Oh, the
been.
British are dicks, and that's why we're one of the biggest superpowers of the world for many, many years.
They did it in South Africa. They did it in a bunch of places, the Brits. And the reason why Kashmir is so messed up is because nobody knows who owns what, and everything is up to interpretation, really. And India feels like it's a vital part of their country. And China thinks they have this part of the land that has Buddhists in it. And this part, Pakistan thinks.
So
well,
getting
since it's all
back
Muslim,
to my
it's ours.
argument now, it's just I think it's probably one of the most nerve-wracking borders to be on. Now, I'm not saying that these ones aren't either. And I think out of everybody's, I think realistically, I think yours is probably the only one that no one really gives a shit about.
Not even the people arguing about it.
Yeah, even the people
Even the countries arguing about it are like...
but I think it's probably one of the most tense borders that is an ongoing tense border, and I think that's really important when it comes to this type of thing because it is a massive dispute, and it's a dispute.
How is it solved?
It probably will never be solved, and that's why it's still this long running.
Well, I'm glad
my original
I'm glad that I
submission
got
was
to
going to
choose the
be.
shittiest answer first.
Sorry, Dylan?
You know what my original submission was going to be? That the greatest border dispute is the amount of Canadians versus the amount of Americans in our hockey league.
I was surprised no one picked
I wouldn't call that an international border dispute.
I was surprised
though.
no one picked like Palestine, Israel. That's
I
don't find that interesting.
It's not.
It's too
never
obvious.
they've been what? It's been 50, 60 years.
So
They've been.
You go to
And all they do is
American
lob
border.
fucking shit back and forth.
That
Like it's.
border in Israel's been shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, right? So it's.
I don't
The
find it
DMZ
interesting.
hasn't shrunk
It's-
at all. It is the exact same size it was. They've maybe taken another, maybe half a mile one way or the other, but that's about it. But it is just.
Well, we're not talking about that, so.
Well, no, we're not. We're talking about, what is the most interesting. And I think it isn't interesting. You have two people that are coming from the same environment that are fighting over different land, but it's the same land. They're
I think
fighting
out of all-
over
I mean,
another
it's-
piece of their own country, which is just silly.
I'm kind of deadlocked here a little bit. I'm trying to decide between three of you, which is
Not you.
not Chris.
Dylan's like showing nipple now.
Jeff, why is yours more interesting than Kevin's and Jody's?
Okay, well, I would
Hey,
say
boys.
with.
Dude, I'm not in this.
No, you're not.
I have such a shit show this episode.
I would
Yeah, you should hear the other ones.
I would say, okay, for.
I do.
If we're
I
going to look
have.
at North Korea and South Korea are one of those things that it's like Jody even said, it's probably always going to be what it is now. It's really. It's
Well,
never,
I think eventually it will stop, but
it's probably.
it's going to take a long time.
It's never going to really escalate, and it's probably until North Korea either basically implodes.
But I think that's what makes it interesting is because you have two people that have a lot of the same values that are actually fighting over different things.
So the thing with Kashmir, the region is, most of it is kind of controlled by Pakistan. You got some China, and you got some India, and Pakistan it's mainly controlled by India. And Pakistan goes in and literally sends in terrorists to blow things up to create more instability. Pisses off India. They literally, it's a scary place. Just in general, because it's not necessarily any one country's. So, anyone can kind of claim, oh, that was them, or that was them. And then, it becomes a really scary part of...
See, I don't
once
even look
one
at that as being
retaliates-
interesting, though, because realistically, it's a random shit show. And you don't really know which one's which. At least with the Korean conflict, you have two peoples that originate from the exact same country that realistically are just fighting over stupid shit. But they're fighting back and forth on their own territory, which is even stupider. With you have a border that's shared among three countries I think it is, and with that you have three different countries plus all these little tiny guys that are all trying to get into this shit. And you have North and South Korea who are the fucking same people. They don't really have different fucking theories. They don't have they
have different ideologies.
They do have different ideologies for sure, but the base of their cultures are very similar, and to the point that they are the same fucking people. That's what
they have
really
a common
is.
language,
And they jump back and forth all the time.
One
You
is-
have people that will go from one to an area and back.
One is heavily influenced by America, and one is heavily influenced by communist Russia, China.
You got it,
right?
absolutely.
And the thing with Kashmir region is
That's why Russia's moves are so interesting
it's
because
even-
every other border dispute is a satellite for Russia.
Absolutely,
True,
but
true.
what's even scarier, what goes into what I'm talking about, is religion. And the religion, just differences between India and Pakistan, who both hate each other and both have nukes. And this is a region where something could terribly go wrong, or someone gets attacked, and then all of a sudden those two nations are at each other's throats. And what's to stop them?
Why
from killing
is
each
it
other?
more interesting than Kevin's?
Well, it's just the implication of huge things happening because it's not really a set border is way more impactful than Jody or Kevin's.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. We have all these satellite border disputes that are backed by Russia. Basically, all the. But then you've got, this is the first time that Russia has gone boots on the ground into another country, be them NATO or not. So before it was all like, well, we can't prove Russia is doing stuff, and it's always this plausible deniability. This is the first time they've boots on the ground, went right in, said, this is ours now, land grab.
They also blew up a plane, and nothing happened out of that.
Well, this is all alleged. Russia hasn't actually been proven to have done this.
What?
Like
Crimea.
Like not
Crimea.
Not the plane
listeners are
thing.
getting
That
bored.
wasn't proven to be Putin.
Dylan's getting bored
No,
for sure.
but
It was proven to be
He's like-
Russian.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna.
Okay, guys.
He's like watching porn or something.
Dylan, do you have an opinion here
On what?
on who's the most interesting?
He's like, I haven't been listening.
I mean, or you could go North Korea, South Korea, which you're clearly asking me because I'm not in the running.
Yeah, you're.
You caught that, did you?
Chris isn't either, right?
No. I was gonna ask Chris too.
Dylan, you should vote for me.
Chris.
No, why would I vote for you when you're not in the running? You chose Smoke as a hockey team.
And I won!
Is the Korean the
I don't
one?
know,
That,
it's
is the
kinda
Korean
tough.
the one that interests you the most?
Just say it, Dylan.
What were the other two again? Sorry.
Kashmir between India, Pakistan, China, and the Crimea between Russia, Ukraine, and a bunch of other people. So.
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go North Korea, South Korea, just because it's the most relevant and that it's still like an issue to this day. You know, not to deny.
What?
Mine's still an issue to this
The
day,
most
too.
relevant?
He's just one opinion, Chris.
I don't even care.
It is relevant.
Mine's
We
just
still
not
deal
relevant
with
to
North
us.
Korea and
It's very
South Korea
relevant
to
to
this day.
Indians and Pakistanis.
It's obvious by my
Chinese.
choice that I don't care.
The Koreans are batshit crazy.
Okay.
Koreans never fucking kill each other. They don't fucking they don't go at each other. They just have it in military.
But they made a movie about
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna go
That
by
is
check
true.
marks.
It's. I'm gonna give it to Kevin and Jeff.
What? You can't go to both of them.
And Jody ultimately, my opinion, meant nothing.
No, apparently not.
Well,
Because you picked the wrong one.
You said the wrong. You said the wrong. You said something that hurt Jody. So.
What
How
did he
can
say
you
that
go to
hurt
both
me?
of them?
How is it? Whatever.
What did he say that hurt me? I'm just curious.
He was like, it's more relevant than the other two, and it's
How does that hurt me?
Because it's not.
true.
It's clearly not.
Okay, guys, we're going to move on to the wild card. For the record, the score at this point is Jeff 2, Kevin 2, Chris 2, Jody 1. So
Dylan 0.
Dylan 0, but Dylan, you could play spoiler here. Who knows? So
Dylan, you can't win no matter what.
You know what? I don't care. Because in my mind, I still have a silent victory over you.
Alright.
There you go.
You chose Smoke.
And it won!
Smoke.
And that
Smoke.
answer won!
And you know what? I went toe-to-toe with
He's got
Daryl
2
Clark,
fucking
so-
points.
You know what? Losing to you is not so bad. It's not that bad.
It was like the Hamilton Smoke is actually a really good name.
No, it's not.
You don't
No, it's not.
understand.
No, it's not, you bobbleheaded goon.
okay,
Oh, it's a
guys.
really good name.
Okay, moving on to wild card.
Okay, at least
Ding, ding, ding. The question here for the wild card is, what is the best job in the world? We're starting with Jeff.
I picked island caretaker. Yes. Now imagine.
What?
Very rich
You picked.
man.
Wait. You picked what?
I picked island caretaker. A very rich.
Oh, are you gonna be taking care of Chris's island?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's right.
No, nobody cares about that one.
Chris is a very rich person. He's a billionaire, but he can't always be on his island.
Wait, the caretaker's like The Shining, right? Like Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Well, it said it's an island instead of a scary.
Yeah, that was not a good
abandoned
job.
hotel.
You're gonna go nuts. You're gonna start killing people.
So you're able to go take care of a billionaire's island, go hang out with, a party
What the fuck are
scene.
you doing, Dylan?
You got the
I'm going downstairs.
You got music, you got hot girls, you got swimming activities, you got booze,
And as the caretaker, you won't be getting any of that.
Hot girls are not guaranteed.
You will definitely get those.
What if you get like a freaking 85-year-old guy and he just wants his island to be taken care of? And,
Well,
like, he
then
just
I
wants to
will
live by
invite
himself.
these people. And
You can't invite people to his island.
I'm the caretaker, actually.
You can't. The caretaker can't
I think
do
you
that.
just made up some bullshit fucking
No,
thing.
it's a real job.
You just
Yeah,
no,
Jeff,
you
well,
ma-
I haven't been able to give you any kind of credit here.
What do you mean? What is not awesome about that?
About serving a bunch of people at an island?
No, I didn't say serving people.
No, he's basically there on his off time.
Yeah.
He's there to rake the sand.
No, you're there to make sure.
And,
everything's
cut the grass and
basically
shit.
get to go be on vacation.
You think you're on vacation, but no, you're the island caretaker. You gotta be working. You can't.
You don't.
You're not the guy that's
And even
drinking
if you
the
are
beer.
working, it's an
You're not
awesome
the guy.
job.
You're not the guy that's drinking the beers.
It's
and
an
freaking
awesome
having
job.
all the women.
Even if you have to work, and you do have to work a bit, but the job is awesome. You get to hang out on a beach and make sure things on an island. What could go wrong?
You're the guy that has to clean out the
Typhoon.
septic tank
Rogue wave.
because they have no.
Border conflict!
That nobody cares about.
You're the guy that has to clean out the septic tank because there's no plumbing on this island.
No, you just dig a hole and you shit in it. That's what.
Oh, that's really. That's
Of course there's plumbing on the island. Go in the water and take a
sounds like
dump.
a fantastic.
Aquadump. You can do aquadumps.
Sorry, when you picked this, I thought you meant like a realistic fucking thing.
I kind of did.
Oh, okay.
It's a definitely realistic thing. It's just not a realistic thing to us.
Dylan, what's your
Yes,
answer?
the best job in the world, not the best job for us. Clubs.
Dylan, what's your answer?
My answer was an author or writer of some sort.
Sounds terrible. You have to sit in a room all day.
Yeah,
by
you gotta
yourself.
take by yourself.
High rate of
I don't have
suicide.
to go outside. I don't have to deal with people.
But you have to be
And-
creative.
Wasn't Jack Nicholson also a writer? He was the
And a
Why do we
caretaker.
keep ta-
Boom,
why do we
double
keep
whammy.
talking about The Shining?
writing The
We're not
Shining?
talking about The Shining. Being an author or writer, you guys have watched so many movies written by great screenwriters. You guys have written.
Yeah, we didn't
read-
pick any though.
Okay, but you could. But you've read a lot of great books.
But you know what, Dylan? You don't have to
What
be
is
hired
that?
for that job. You can just
Be
do it.
quiet. Be quiet, bobblehead.
Okay, can I go back real quick?
What? Why?
I have a
What,
point.
isn't it my turn?
I have a
Your
point.
point's done now, son.
Yeah, you're done.
I wasn't given much time. He cut me off.
What are you talking about?
There was
You spent
nothing
10
else to
minutes.
say.
No,
You
there
spent 10
was.
minutes telling us
There
about
was.
a
There was
fucking
one-
job that doesn't actually exist.
It does exist. That's what I wanted to say. There was a job in 2009. There was in Queensland in Australia. There was a competition that 35,000 people applied for. That was a competition to house sit a caretaker's a very rich man's island. Out of the 35,000 applicants, over 200 countries, and they whittled it down to 16 finalists. They finally.
That's
picked one
fantastic.
person.
It was probably a reality fucking TV
Might
show.
It wasn't a reality TV show. It was a competition called The Best Job in the World. Bam, drop the mic.
Okay, but the only thing wrong with your statement is it was
That
on
it took place in
Australian-
Australia and
It wasn't
no one
on
else
Australian
fucking
TV.
watched it.
It was like
Then how can they call it something?
what do you mean? It was
Who's calling it that?
It was like a
What's your source?
Okay,
Wikipedia.
back to Dylan. Let's go back to
Can I
Dylan.
please go back to my answer?
Yeah, please do, Dylan.
Which was completely hijacked.
It's okay. We're starting with you.
All right, so personally speaking, I mean, an author can be maybe not the most financially rewarding, but if you are a creative person, I find that writing, which is something that I am passionate about and enjoy doing.
So then just do it.
What is
It's not-
what
it's
is
not- it's
better
not like-
than
It's not like you have to be hired to do this. Just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Still a
I
job
agree-
whether
I
you
agree.
get hired or not.
No, I agree with Chris.
It wasn't
entirely.
like it's not. The question's not what's your dream job. It's just what's the
No,
best job.
it's what's the best job in the world, and it's not sitting in a room writing.
But what is better than creating something from your own mind that is, creating a world and creating characters and giving them depth and emotion and being paid for that? People love reading and they love film and they love
Okay,
comics.
I'll explain this really quickly. 50 Shades of Grey. You're done. All right, next one.
Whoa! I'm not not writing 50 Shades of Grey. Fuck
No,
that
you
shit.
probably would.
But you're saying the person that wrote 50 Shades of Grey has the best job in the world, and they fucking don't.
And you know what? Even though I'm not interested in that at all, they did make money and they did get a movie. So
Exactly, which makes it a terrible fucking job that they can write.
why is it a terrible job? You wrote something you're passionate about. And you made money for it.
It's a good job if you get money for it. But honestly, an author is not a job. Like, I could be an author. I
is
can
a
go
job.
home.
It's
No, it is a job.
It's
You
not a dream
not be an
job,
author.
first of all.
I
You
know
would
it is
have
a job. You'd agree it's a
original
job?
It's a
It's a job.
job.
Paid money
That
for it,
plays
yeah.
on a hockey
Chris, you're getting
rink
in
in
this.
fucking.
What? No.
Because you don't know what a job is.
I'm
Giving out hand jobs in the fucking
I
alleyway is
could go
technically a
home.
job if you make money on it.
I can go home tonight. I can write a 150-page fucking book.
Yeah, none of this will make any fucking
And if
sense.
somebody
It'll be
pays you
stupid.
for it,
Buy
if
it.
somebody pays you for it, that's your job.
If somebody pays me for it. So an author is not
If
a
somebody
job.
paid you
I'm
for
an
anything
author.
you've written,
You're an author.
I would
You're-
actually pay for
You're
it.
an
Well,
author.
there is a
Yes,
job
Chris.
if you are
See,
paid.
I wrote this today. I'm an author.
certain-
No, you didn't. You
criteria.
copied it
Okay,
from
no,
because
there is a point to what he's saying. What if I'm a blogger? That's an author.
Yeah,
right?
blogger's an
and
author.
they don't fucking get paid.
Yeah, take
right?
away my axe.
Many do.
Bloggers, but
A lot of them
bloggers
don't,
do get
though.
paid.
all the people on the crack site.
Right, and the
people
ones that
like-
don't
I feel like
don't
we're
do it
off
as a
track.
job, but the ones that
Okay,
do it as a job.
All right,
A
That's
lot of
not-
people
It's
write.
your
and
job
don't
to
get
get it
paid
in
for it.
charge, my friend.
Like Chris, just to the point, like if I'm a singer,
Yeah.
I could just go out and sing, but unless somebody wants to pay to hear me sing, it's not a job.
Well, Dylan never specified that he had to be a paid author. He just said author.
But is
But the question
I
is
feel
about
like that
job.
goes without saying.
Like your
You're
argument
getting
Smith
paid
is
for
because
doing
your answer
something,
is probably very weak.
regardless.
Dylan, do you have anything to add before we move on?
He goes to me, he's like, mine sucks.
No, I mean, I feel like I rested my case. Like, as somebody who wants to be creative, what better job would there to be an author than like maybe like an artist?
Sure. Okay. All right, Kevin.
All right, I went a little bit a different direction.
Yep.
I went TV evangelist. Because
What?
Through the bottle.
because if you can convince people to believe in God, but not just believe in God, believe you have a divine fucking hotline to God. You can fucking get them to do anything. You can get them. I was gonna originally
Ron
go
L.
with,
Hubbard was a writer.
I was gonna go originally with cult leader,
Why? What? I don't
but
know.
then I
same
decided.
thing.
But then I decided TV
I don't
evangelist.
know. I kinda
TV
like
evangelist
it.
has all the upsides of a cult leader with none of the downsides. No mass suicides. No fucking tanks rolling over your house.
But people
But you are
will
going to have
kill you.
everybody saying that you are fucking crazy because you're a TV.
Well, isn't that
So what? You just
intelligence.
fucking, you're bathed in fucking riches from you selling fucking holy water. Peter Popoff was fucking proven to be full of shit, and people still send him fucking
Wasn't that
money.
a TV evangelist who was like, everybody's gonna give me money so I can get myself a jet?
No, he was the one that fucking would heal people and fucking hit them on the head and they'd fall over. It was proven that they had transmissions from the back to his ear. They had intercepted transmissions that someone in the back was telling him what to say and like
So con man
what all
is
that. He was a
basically the
total
job.
fucking con man.
Con man's the best job in the world.
All TV evangelists are fucking con men.
So con man is the best job in the world.
Well,
Thanks,
but
Kevin.
it's a legal con man.
It's a legal
It's a
con man.
totally legal con man.
Fucking
I
fantastic.
completely
Would
agree
you
with
be
Kevin.
Would you be fulfilled with yourself in your life though if you were a con man?
If I had shady enough morals to be a con man, yes, I would be.
You would be like,
I would be
you
very
wake up every
content.
day and be like, I'm a fucking con man. I'm so happy to be.
No,
waking up
I'd be
this
like,
morning."
I fucking
tell
talk
people
to
about
Jesus
God.
on a daily basis.
But you don't really because you're a con man.
Of course! Also, he doesn't exist!
It's not
Well,
the best
you're
job
all
in the
rich.
world. You have to live a lie and be like really sweaty on stage all the time. And
But you
talk
go
to
from, if you
babies
can
and-
convince 4 hillbillies that you can talk to fucking Jesus, it just fucking blows up from there, and then you start building crystal cathedrals and shit.
Yes.
Wait,
It's
wait a
fucking
minute,
crazy.
wait,
I was also going to pick the Pope, which would have been awesome, but then I decided you can be a TV evangelist at any age, and the Pope you have to wait until you're 180.
Pope doesn't get
So-
so,
Yes, he
He is
does.
pretty old.
Yes, he does. There is so much sex going on in the Catholic Church. You have no
It's
fucking
all with
idea.
boys.
Yeah, but it's always with
Not
boys.
this Pope.
Well, that's what they prefer.
Okay, so you couldn't use the Pope anyway because the Pope officially doesn't get paid.
Okay,
Oh,
the
excellent.
Vatican has no money.
No, he gets whatever he wants, but he doesn't get paid.
That's like
Actually,
saying
he doesn't
Queen
get salary.
Answer
Elizabeth
back.
don't get paid to be the queen.
Anyway,
Elizabeth does get
if you're a
salary.
TV evangelist, you can say whatever you want. People will fucking send you money, and then you still get to do all the shit you want to do.
Jody.
Well, Dave, let me paint you a picture here.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I picked something that I thought would be a little bit more reasonable to what the question was. Because
It's not
these
about
guys-
reasonable.
well,
These guys are
It
both
can be.
very reasonable so
I
far.
think it can be.
We're on. Yeah, go ahead.
I picked optometrist. I'm going to tell you why.
An eye doctor? Are
Absolutely.
you fucked up?
Man, I didn't know what it was.
No, he's
Okay,
not.
Let me
I wouldn't wanna
explain.
do any of
Do
your
you think I can talk?
No.
All right. Anyway, average salary $124,000 a year. All you do is show up in an office, put somebody in front of a machine, and write down the number the machine tells them. That's it. You don't have to have much in the ways of any fucking skill, other than you have to have a doctor in for it, which, by the way, you can get in realistically 6 years to 8 years, depending on.
Sounds
how
like you
far
need some
wanna
skill
go.
for that.
Well, no, actually, really don't. I looked it up. You really don't.
No schooling for a TV evangelist, and it's millions of dollars a year.
You don't.
You really don't. It's not that hard. You can go be an optometrist right now.
Well, maybe I will.
You have all the prereqs. I guarantee you, if you have high school, you have the prereqs.
Okay.
You can go get your doctorate. No problem. It'll take you a while, but you can get it. You have to go get a master's and all that first, obviously.
Yeah.
But here's the real.
That sounds like it sucks.
You spend your day.
Sounds like they suck.
Number one, your average day is around 3 hours because realistically, the rest of the time you're sitting there groping up your nurse. All right, that's pretty much what you're gonna do.
What?
That's what- that's
doesn't
what-
sound
So
like
enjoy
a
jail.
doctor's office.
Oh no, well the 124,000.
What are you, an optometrist in the 50s?
Do you know how much money these guys make on average a day?
You're saying they're
My optometrist is a woman.
Not only do they make their 124,000, but their stores themselves also profit quite heavily. Have you ever seen what the cost for a pair of glasses are? It's insane. It's fucking insane. The average cost of a pair of glasses is $40, right? That's everything all
yeah.
said and done. They charge you $400 or $500. They're making a great markup. All right. On top of that, there's one other thing that's going to help you really good here. You get to put doctor in your fucking name, and chicks will fuck you. It's that simple. You will get fucked. You will get fucked so hard you won't know where it's coming from. That's how fucking hard you're
You'll
gonna
need
get
another
fucked.
prescription.
And on top of that, you'll be happy because after you got fucked,
Please,
You
TV
can-
evangelists
you
excel
can
in
kick her out.
depravity.
You can kick her out of your fucking bed, go down, and drive your fucking Ferrari because you got that much fucking cash. All right? It's a great fucking job. It's a realistic job, other than some of these other guys here. And I haven't even heard Chris's yet, and I'm sure his is fucking
question.
fine.
What's the most
Realistic job.
Jody.
All I'm saying is,
It's probably
it's a
a
job that's
marker.
very obtainable,
Uh-huh.
high pay, you get to call yourself a doctor, and you get a lot of pussy. That's all I'm saying. It's fantastic. It's a great job.
Okay. Chris.
Wait, I want to just take my answer back.
And in place of
Because-
what? I already scored you.
You can't
It
take
doesn't
your answer
matter
back.
because clearly the best job in the world is being the host of Trivial Debates.
All right.
This is true.
Because you can make absurd bullshit claims and no one can challenge you because
That sounds like TV evangelists.
I'm changing mine to photocopy salesman.
I'm changing mine to whatever Daryl Clark does because he can do whatever he wants and take a bunch of people out to brunch and pay for it and be like, it's fine.
I can do that as an optometrist,
But you're not.
but I'm not.
Chris.
All right.
Can you give us your answer, please?
Jody, Dave.
Yes.
You know, Jody. I want to start off.
That's
At least we're
true.
clear now.
I need check marks for whatever you gave Jody for doctor.
Wait, move the
pussy,
bottle, move the bottle.
Ferrari, and a lot
Somebody
of money.
move the bottle.
He's
I
just
want
gonna
to see what
rhyme
he's
off
saying.
buzzwords, eh?
No,
Back it up. Back
he's
it up.
What's
right
the
now
dream job?
my-
A doctor,
No,
pussy.
Back it up. You have to earn those points.
I'm just saying
Move the bottle.
because those are 4 points. That the job that I chose also has those 4 points right away.
What is
I
it?
chose dermatologist.
Dermatologist? What? Do you know how fucking gross that job is?
I deserve to win this fight.
I park the guy in front of a fucking machine, and the machine does the work.
Dermatologist?
You have to touch fucking scabby ass fucking people, fucking hives and shit. That's fucking garbage.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the gross shit that grows on
I'll explain it later.
Good
Hold
God.
on. Give me a point for the sex. $268,000 a year.
Okay.
Way more than an optometrist. Way more. All you gotta do.
Yeah, and he ain't getting any laid.
People come in, okay? You gotta get your doctor's degree. It takes like 6 years, whatever. People come in. They got a rash on their arm, okay? All you gotta do
is touch it. Gross.
Or on their cock.
You guys didn't listen to me yet.
Okay, let them talk.
What if they have a rash on their cock?
That's fine too. Rash on their cock.
So you gotta feel a dude's cock.
I don't care where the rash is. There could be a rash on a boob, a pussy, a cock. I don't care. All you gotta do is tell people, put some cream on it. That's your only job.
No, it isn't.
Not even slightly.
Listen. Kids come in. They got a bunch of acne.
Chris
Okay,
always
they're
says
like,
that. Listen.
I love that you think that all you're going to ever deal with is acne. How about skin cancer?
I just told. I'm getting the skin cancer.
Oh.
Kids come in. They have friggin' acne.
getting the
And they're like,
skin
I gotta see my dermatologist, right? See my dermatologist. Get rid of my acne. And what's your answer?
My acne?
Put some cream on it. That's it. That's your answer. That's your
You
answer.
would be the worst dermatologist ever.
Not only that. And then people come in. They've got melanoma.
If you tell a little kid to put cream
You
on it,
have wasted your degree, my friend.
Half my face off. Put some cream on it.
People come in, they've got cancer, okay? This is the worst possible situation a dermatologist has to face, okay?
I don't think
It's
a
gonna be like,
dermatologist is dealing with that at that point.
this is all...
no, I think gonorrhea is up there.
Okay, gonorrhea, same thing. You have to look at it, but still.
You're not urban.
Put some cream on it.
That's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, gonorrhea. Put some cream on it.
And skin cancer. Someone comes in. All I have to
3
say,
minutes and he would be fucking sued for malpractice. 3 minutes.
all I have to say is, there's no cure for cancer yet. Put some cream on it. That's it. That's your whole job. You get to be a doctor, and your whole job is put some cream on it.
No, there's surgeries
That's
and stuff.
it.
They do
don't.
skin grafts.
You are severely selling
Not,
doctor surgery.
not the kind of dermatologist I'm gonna be.
Yeah, a shitty one.
One with $1.3 million in fucking lawsuits.
I can't believe all the jobs in the world and you came up with fucking dermatologist.
All you have to do is say.
You have a mole fetish, don't you?
That's your only job in the world. Is say put some cream on it. It's the easiest job in the world.
That's your argument?
It's the easiest job in the world.
Put enough
I have
beer in
gonorrhea.
the
Put some
refrigerator.
cream on it.
Yes. You don't even have to be a doctor. You could just like I could be a dermatologist right now. People could come to me.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. You have to go to school for that shit.
I could do it. I could.
Okay, let's be honest.
I couldn't be a legal dermatologist.
No.
But I could be just as effective as one.
No.
You don't even know which creams to give them.
It doesn't matter, Dave.
The white cream.
You just tell them.
Just put a cortisone on it. Don't worry about it.
That's your only job in the world. Put some cream on it.
Someone else.
Okay.
Yes.
And you get the pussy and the money and the hookers and the cars.
Scarface. You
You
look
get
at the
all that
skin, you
shit.
get the money, you get the
Put some
pussy,
cream on it and you get all that shit.
then you get the power.
Okay, Dave, can we just give this point to me now and we're done?
I make you laugh the hardest, apparently.
Yeah, well, hey, I gave you points based for passion.
You should have taken at least a bunch out.
Oh, I did. Every point he gave, he lost.
Okay.
He's back, so he's not in the running.
There's no cure for skin cancer right now. So for now, put some
Just
cream
put some
on
cream
it.
on it.
Come on.
Unfucking believable.
As an optometrist, you don't have to do fuck all. It's literally put them in front of a fucking machine. That's it. That's all they do. Once in a while, they flip the little dial.
My job
I can't
is
believe it.
And then they write down a number and somebody else takes
can't
it.
believe
You know what?
Go
I can
on
write
vacation, make sure.
In my
all
job,
about
people think you're
an
God on
Can't hear
earth.
you.
All right, Dylan's trying to talk here. We
An
can't hear
island
him.
Yeah, Dylan's trying to talk.
caretaker,
You
and
can't
an
hear.
evangelicals on TV, and it'll be a great book. And it'll be funny.
What's
and it'll
that?
be based on all four of you guys.
What?
And we missed most of what you
I could write
said.
a book about every single one of those jobs with you four as the inspiration for those people with said jobs, and it would be hilarious.
Well, there you go. Write it.
Especially Chris as the dermatologist. Oh, it seems you have some melanoma. Here, put some cream on it.
on it. Put some cream on that shit. Don't worry about it.
You've got a protrusion in your asshole. Here, put some cream on it.
There's
But
no
let me put
fucking
this
cure for
rubber
that
glove
now.
on
Put
first
some
and touch
cream
your
on
anus.
Sort of.
Dave, I was an inspiration to you.
were,
You
but,
know that.
The
No,
question
Dave,
is, what is the
think
best
hard,
job? What job would you want to do the most? It's mine by far.
Dave,
Come
I
on.
won this.
Kevin won this.
Why?
You were close,
Because
Dylan. You were close.
What about the people who wrote all the books you loved? Wouldn't you want to be them?
You made a good case. You were like runner-up, basically. Yeah, you were just like one.
Thanks. That's like putting salt in the fucking wound.
So Kevin's made speed round. No, two-way tie. I'm sorry, Jody. Between Jeff and Chris.
Good, because that means I get to host next one.
Yeah. All right. So we have to do a tiebreaker between Chris and Jeff to get into the speed round with Kevin. All right. This is going to be a quick off the top of your head answer.
An infinite number of right answers.
There's many.
All right.
The category is movies.
Okay.
Ding. Ding ding.
Ding ding, Dylan.
Ding ding.
What is
Ding, motherfucking ding.
what is the best time travel movie?
Back to the future.
Back to the Future 2.
I heard you I heard Back to the Future.
I don't know if we can give.
And Back to the Future 2.
Yeah.
One's a continuation of the other. I don't think that really.
Jeff gets Back to the Future. Okay, Jeff, go.
Oh, Back to the Future is the most classic time travel movie ever. Like, first of all, 2 sucks. Like, Kevin's right. It's a terrible movie. Oh, how about don't have any power?
Okay, I'm interested.
Okay.
Okay, what's your?
No, I'm not done.
Okay, go.
I'm not done.
He's got something. Do you want to know what he
This is a
has?
speed round.
What? No, this isn't fair. What did you pick?
I chose the Time Machine,
Okay, fine.
Which one? The remake or the original?
the original.
Okay.
The original from when was that?
60s.
60s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, Back to the Future is a great paradox type movie with time travel. I mean, you have Martin McFly going back in time. You have him running with his mother, almost fucking his mom. You have the whole thing with Doc Brown. You're going to the propping up his dad to go after his mom, which is fucking crazy when you really consider that plot. And overall, it's just got the best. It wraps up in a bow, and then they were still able to make 2 shitty sequels afterward. But this movie is special. It's got a special feel to it. There's certain moments when they're doing the dance, when they're doing with the whole thing with, "Hey, you, get your damn hands off her!" Like all those moments in Back to the Future make it, and the time travel is just a really nice part of excuse to go back to the 50s, to go forward to the 80s, just overall as a time, it's the most classic by far, and nothing beats it.
It's not the most classic by far. The most classic is the Time Machine, 1960 version.
Who starred in that movie?
Doesn't matter. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. But this guy sits in his
I don't
garage.
remember because you just looked it up.
I don't remember.
First of all, I've only seen the second time travel, the
Machine.
remake.
Okay, the original
I've
one,
only read the book,
He
and
builds
it's
a
actually
time. He
excellent.
builds a time machine in his garage, and it's basically this funky looking thing, and it's got this like symbol thing on like the top, and he goes so far back in time that back in the '60s, even they showed this like progressive scene where like mountains got built over him. He went so far back in time that we don't even know what time
thought he went
traveled back.
forward.
He goes forward in
I
time.
think he goes
No,
forward.
he went back.
No, I think he
He
goes
went
forward.
back.
No,
Can we have that fact check?
no, I'm pretty sure he goes forward.
He went back in time, by the way.
Not in the remake.
In the original one, he went back in time.
In the book, what happens?
Pretty sure he went back.
He went back.
All right.
Like there were mountains created over him, and it was this amazing scene where, like back in the '60s, you could not even think about this kind of cinematography.
All right.
You know what? And it's a love story as well. They had this siren that went off, and it got all the people to go into where the Morlocks live, and they would get eaten by the Morlocks. And they had these red eyes, and the cinematography for the day was amazing. Back to the Future is just the fucking obvious choice, so it's a bad choice. Do you remember the Morlocks, Dylan?
No.
It's a reference that even They use at Comic-Con today.
Okay, he goes both ways, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
He goes back and forward.
Yeah. But the Morlocks are way back in time.
No, the Morlocks are forward.
That's in the four. Yeah, that's in the.
That's in the
No,
forward.
that's
Crazy
way
future.
back. That's way in the future.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like that's what happened.
He goes
in the
back.
remake.
He goes back to like Egyptian times, and then.
Anyways, it's friggin' awesome. It's friggin' awesome for the time. Like Back to the Future is just an '80s movie. It's just like a stupid comedy.
It's not. It's fucking awesome. You
Do I
should
get to
finish
vote on this,
now.
by the way?
The Time Machine had meaning. It still has meaning to this day. It's still an awesome movie to this day. It's a movie I would watch over and over again. It's not like Back to the Future. Once you've seen it once, who cares? Do you remember the Morlocks with the red eyes?
Who made the better argument? It appears, Chris, you've been knocked out.
Shit!
I'm sorry.
Just because I didn't say Back to the Future first, which was my first answer, and then
All right, we're moving into the speed round, guys. Now it is Kevin and Jeff. I will be looking to Dylan, Chris, and Jody for opinions before I make my ruling. Okay, guys, and keeping with the theme of a time machine, everything we were doing here will be focused on moving through time. You're in a time machine, guys, and
Oh, God.
you've gone
A themed fucking speed round. Oh, this is gonna be a horror show.
guys.
Welcome to the shit show, boys.
Movies speed round. It's 2001. You've landed in 2001. Which film are you going to go see at the theater? Shrek or Monsters Inc?
What? Shrek.
Fine, I'll see Monsters Inc.
Go Shrek.
What's the first? What's a question?
Which one do you want to go see? Shrek or Monsters Inc?
Shrek. It's funny and it's a good adventure. It makes me laugh. Fucking Monsters Inc.'s shit. I mean, like, but yeah, like for Shrek, they made 3 of them too. I think they made 2 Monsters movies, but it took a while to get the second one out. Shrek, the third Shrek movie is the highest grossing animated movie apparently of all time, which is insane to think about that in box office. Shrek, it's just overall a good story, and it's fun. You get all the characters from all fairy tales, and yeah, it's just fun.
Monsters Inc.
Oh, Monsters. Shrek is good, but Monsters Inc. is a stand-up movie. The monsters are sneaking into kids' bedrooms to scare them, to get screams, to power their world.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting fucking premise. And at the end of the movie, they find out that laughter is way better. It's a fucking nice story.
Alright, just to be clear, Shrek 3 was not the highest grossing animated movie.
Really?
Not even close.
Oh, really?
Not even in the top 5.
Guys, Chris, do you have an opinion?
My 2 cents in?
Jeff lied, so Kevin wins.
I didn't lie. I heard that fact.
Wait,
I'm not gonna go
you
that
didn't hear
far,
my
but-
2 cents.
I was going to ask you next, Dylan.
Well, I think Monsters Inc. is the more original.
I don't care which one you like more. I just want to know who made the better argument.
Dylan, you can't be biased.
I'm
in
giving
this
my
thing.
argument point to Kevin.
Yeah, me too. Okay,
What?
you gave it to Kevin.
Yeah, but Kevin, because you can't be biased in this thing, Jeff.
Guys, you're back in your time
I
machine.
wasn't lying.
Okay, ding, ding, ding. Television. You're back in the time machine. You've been transported to the year 1993, and you don't want to miss one of these 2 series finales, but you can only see one of them. This is the end of these particular shows. The Wonder Years and Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the
Wonder
Bell.
Years.
Oh,
Wonder Years.
Saved by the Bell.
there's definitely
Jeff
a clear
said
winner.
it first.
I actually watched Saved by the Bell, so I wouldn't have watched The Wonder Years. I would have probably watched the stupid fucking series finale of Saved by the Bell because it was of my era, I guess, sort of. I don't fucking know. Saved by the Bell, I don't know. I never watched Wonder Years, so I have no interest in watching that finale. The finale with Saved by the Bell, at least it would have been like, okay, well, they did like, I don't even know how many years, 4 or 5 years. Got to the end, and I was like, oh, that's like kind of like a cool little capsule of high school in a fake California staged high school where the people are not real whatsoever.
Fucking Saved by the Bell was nowhere near anything resembling reality.
No.
It was the fucking worst. It was the fucking worst. I
That's
can't
why
believe that show made it. However, more than 3 episodes, that
Yeah.
fucking show.
Multiple
It's
years.
Not only
brutal.
that, but they
Wonder
have a
Years.
TV special.
Wonder Years, you have a story from beginning to end. And that's why you want to watch the last episode. Because you want to see how the story ends. Saved by the Bell, how does the story end? They're all still fucking spazzes that just graduated high school. Who gives a shit?
Well, me.
No, you don't. It's fucking
I didn't
brutal.
watch Wonder Years.
Brutal.
Guys?
I'm gonna go with Jeff on this one with Saved by the Bell because.
Because you have a personal bias?
No, well, I had a crush on Jesse Spano, and I totally would have like Dave 911 on her.
You don't understand what the word bias means, do you? Ever.
Dylan?
Fucking not Saved by the Bell. Fuck that shit. That show too. That show fucking sucks balls. Wonder Years, hands down.
Jody. Which series finale would...
This is a debate show, and the only person that debated that round was Jeff, in my opinion.
Kevin wins. Okay.
Fuck. Fucking Jeff made a better argument. I never watched Saved by the Bell, or I never watched Wonder Years, so fucking Saved by the Bell.
Guys,
Jesus Christ.
moving on to music. Ding, ding, ding.
You're back in the
time machine.
machine. All
Now
right.
you're in
You dialed another number.
You're now in 1982.
Oh, God. What a bad time to be in music. Oh.
and you're forced to buy one of these albums. You have to. Which one do you choose? Duran Duran's Rio or Michael Jackson's Thriller?
Michael Jackson Thriller.
Oh,
Just give it to him.
Jeff
yeah.
wins.
Either way, that Thriller's a way better album.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Sports. You've been transported to the year 1969. What do you see as the bigger sports story for New York City? Mickey Mantle retiring from the Yankees or the Miracle Mets winning the World Series?
Miracle Mets.
Sure. The other one.
Okay.
Miracle Mets was.
I know nothing about either of these things.
Way out of it. The reason why they called them Miracle Mets is because they just won a shitload of games at the end of the season, came out of nowhere, and won the World Series. If I was going to go back and watch one of the best teams ever complete one of the best comebacks ever, which is really hard in baseball considering how many games they play, I would go back and watch the Mets at Chase.
Do you think that would be a bigger deal for New York City?
Probably not. Mickey Mantle retiring the Yankees probably would be bigger, but at the time when the Mets did that, it was huge in Queens. So it was a really big deal. So.
Okay.
Mickey Mantle's a much bigger deal because I've fucking heard of Mickey Mantle and I've never heard of this bullshit. Ever.
You ever seen Men in Black 3 yet?
No, I haven't.
Go watch it. You'll learn about the Miracle Mets.
Because that's what I want out of a fucking alien movie. Is to learn about the Miracle Mets. Fucking nobody cares about the Miracle Mets, or I would have heard about it somewhere.
No, well,
nobody gives
you don't
a
like
shit.
sports.
No, I don't. But I fucking at least heard of Mickey Mantle, and I know that he was a fucking huge.
Mickey Mantle were, I'll be.
Who
really
gives a
impressed.
shit?
Well, then you. Well, he is. Kind of
As a non-sports watcher, fucking, I know who Mickey Mantle is. I don't know this shit. The Miracle Mets, no idea.
I'm gonna go with Mickey Mantle on this one.
What?
Okay. I don't think Kevin made the better argument, though. I think Jeff did.
All right, well then give it to Jeff and let's move on.
All right. All right. Okay, ding, 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 history. You're back in the time machine.
Oh, goody.
For history, shocking.
Shocking. Yeah. I thought it would be a present day machine.
Maybe it's a forward moving time machine.
It's 1945, and you can be present for only one of these events. Which do you choose? The founding of the United Nations, or the Potsdam Conference, which was the
Founding of the United Nations.
or the Potsdam Conference, which was the three main Allied leaders holding their final summit of the war.
That's the one. I'll take that one.
Okay.
United Nations sucks, and I wish it wasn't ever invented.
So you're just purposely going to show up just to kibosh it.
I'm going to show up just to be like, this is fucking stupid. And, like, if you're not including the whole world, then get the fuck out of here and stop making vetoes for fucking powerful countries.
Well, it's not the United World, it's the United Nations.
Nations.
Yeah.
So you would, but you'd want to be there for that.
Yeah, well, I would stop that. Because the United Nations
Stop that. Any means possible.
Okay, you want to be at the Potsdam Conference?
Yes, I do, because I would want to have say in how all the countries are divided up after the war. Who gets what, who's going to rebuild what. That's where you make your money. That's where you get your power. That's why the states ended up coming out of that. So what?
So you're giving power to a bunch of people that's not you.
What?
Yeah. Because you're only president for a day, remember? That's the question.
Yeah, well, you give it to your president, your country you're in,
Yeah.
country you agree with. You get to
Yeah, but then-
you get to influence history more than fucking not.
Yeah, but what do you, if you're American, what the fuck do you care about the countries in Europe? Like you're an American.
Obviously, the
you're made
Americans
president for one day, and they're like, "Oh, go to Potsdam and go figure out Eastern Europe." I'm sure most Americans would be like, "What the fuck do I care about?"
Why the fuck would you care about going and fucking
United
doing
Nations?
whatever with the United Nations?
Is fucking stupid. It doesn't even need to be like,
Right,
an
so
existing thing.
it doesn't influence history at all, but Potsdam did influence history, and you could influence history on that day.
And in what way? Because
In the-
Russia basically decided most of what happened in Eastern Europe. Really, all that got decided from our end was Berlin and Germany.
And you could fucking maybe argue that better. Or fucking...
I don't think they were going to win that argument, because in Berlin, Russia basically had the whole city, and they weren't.
So you wouldn't want to go for one day of negotiation
With
at
Stalin?
Potsdam. You would rather just walk in and go, United Nations is bullshit, guys.
I would rather
Fuck
do
it.
that than go argue with Stalin about shit,
Why?
Because he was a murderous dictator that probably was like pretending to be your buddy, but he really never was. And he was...
So why would you not want to go and try to get as much from him as you could?
Because at the time, Russia would...
Why is it more important to make sure the United Nations doesn't become a thing than it is to go and
do what? I just don't understand. What do you do at Potsdam? Like, there's nothing for you to do as president. Like,
Why?
Because what's there to do? Like, Russia literally designed most of what happened in Eastern Europe. That's why they took it over. That's why it became the USSR. And
It's what led to the Cold War.
Cold War, and the United States got nothing out of that, really, other than they got a piece of Berlin and they got half of Germany, which actually got smaller. So, like, I just don't understand what would they do better? Even for one day, you go talk to Stalin. Stalin, I want this land. I don't think this country should be this way. Fuck yourself. That's what would happen.
Why? Like, no, the United States could have exercised muscle in that. Fucking the United States was one of the only countries that was still a military fucking power at that time. Russia was not.
Russia was, absolutely.
No, they were not.
They were becoming one, yes. They
were
absolutely
fucking hurting bad after,
They got
and
bad,
we fucking...
But they were definitely a power. They were the next superpower.
They were nowhere near the United States. The United States
No.
could have exercised their power, and they didn't. And that's what I would change.
With what? Force?
Maybe.
Okay. Chris.
It's up to you, Dave. I don't even understand what they're talking about. Like,
All right, I'm calling it. Kevin wins.
Who's arguing for Potsdam?
Kevin. Wild card. Ding, ding, ding. Now you've been transported to the year 2030.
oh boy.
Okay? Which of these 2015 celebrity marriages are most likely to have ended in divorce by then? Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, or Johnny Depp and Amber Heard?
Are they actually fucking married?
They're getting married this year.
Ashton Kutcher.
Who's the other one?
Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
I don't even know who Amber Heard is.
Well, that's what you have to argue for.
Doesn't matter.
Fine.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher is
You got the right
just
answer.
one of these guys that, I don't know, who cares? He's one of these celebrities where you're like, who cares who he's fucking? And if he is fucking someone, he's probably won't be fucking her in a year. It's like John Mayer. Who
Are you
cares?
saying that about Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah. He's fucking
And Mila Kunis and him were on that 70 show
Yeah,
together.
why weren't they fucking back then?
Hey guys.
Do you have to argue who's going to stay together or who's going to be apart?
Who's gonna break apart?
2030, who's not going to be married anymore? Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, or Johnny Depp and Amber Heard? Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
I don't know why. I think they're all going to be divorced, and they're all going to be divorced probably 3 fucking times by 2030.
That's 2 votes from the Cooper household.
Okay.
I have no idea. I don't care.
Can you make it some kind of an argument?
Nope, I don't care. Fuck them. They're all going to be divorced because they're all fucking vacuous idiots.
What?
All going to be divorced.
I agree with
Well, Jeff at least made a little bit of an argument, so Jeff's going to have to win this.
Jeff's gonna have to.
Well, that's fine.
I wanted to lose it.
But guys, we're still tied.
Why?
So we need another tiebreaker.
Yeah, we're still tied.
Well, that's why you wanted to lose it. Or what?
We need a tiebreaker. Can someone help me? Dylan, do you have a tiebreaker?
Well,
Alright, I got a tiebreaker. You are in the year 2015. Dave's time machine doesn't work. It's bullshit. Fuck all that crap. You have to pick between 2 shows that involve puppets. Do you like Fraggle Rock or do you like The Muppet Show better?
Muppet Show.
I actually like Fraggle Rock better.
Fraggle Rock's the shit.
Okay.
Muppet Show is classic.
Let's start with the Muppet Show.
Muppet Show was always, you always kind of had like a cold open, and then you had, they always kind of came in with, whoever the guest was. You got to learn who the guest was. Yeah, Muppet Show had a great theme song, but overall, like, the show was fun to watch, and I've watched a bunch in a row, and I never got bored watching it. I thought it was, always great jokes. It's got a real nostalgia feel to it as well when you go back and watch those episodes. So, you really feel like it's the 70s. Especially with a lot of the guests that were on. The incorporation of music. They did so many...
Jeff, who is the best side character?
Side character?
Not a central character.
Swedish Chef. Can I pick the whole Electric Mayhem band?
Yeah, that counts.
Alright, I pick that.
Okay. Kevin?
Fuck. I don't know. Fraggle Rock. All I remember is I preferred to watch it. I like the dozers. The little guys that would just, they'd build shit. They'd build all these elaborate things, and then the Fraggles would just come and fucking eat them. I don't know why that delighted me so much. Maybe I'm a bit of an asshole. And then I like that they were always trying to fucking catch, like they had the other fucking things that were always trying to catch the Fraggles. I don't know. It was a great fucking show. I don't remember actually that much about it though, because the Muppet Show is so much more iconic.
All right, Jeff wins.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff wins. Congratulations, Jeff. You pulled this out. You came from behind. You took Chris down in that epic time travel tiebreaker.
I would say it came from behind.
Now I need to come up with a new wild card for when I host, because that was my wild card question.
Thank you, Dylan.
Your wild card.
Well, you need a bunch of wild card questions.
So, what did you guys think of the time machine theme in the speed round? Is something we should keep going with?
But Dave, fuck you.
You know what? I think your the fact that you only gave two choices for every answer, I believe you stole that from me. I believe that was my
no, we've been doing that since before you were on.
Original thing.
Steal that from you?
Yeah, you stole it from me. It was my Trudeau.
We didn't steal.
I'm still staring at you about the fucking time travel thing. No.
You didn't like going to the year 1945?
Well, no.
I think you kind of made that clear.
What about the year 2030 with the celebrity divorces? Didn't you want to see who get divorced?
Not even in the least. You know what I care less about than sports? Celebrity fucking marriages.
All right, well, let's sign off. I know everyone's tired, so this has been another episode of Trivial Debates. So anyway, I'm Dave, the host, and thank you to all our panelists tonight. I know it was a long one. I think Jody gets the next hosting duty.
Yeah, it'll be better and unbiased.
Say bye, everyone.
Bye.
No, not you. How the fuck are you gonna host? You're on an iPad, you dick.